Cheers, queers. What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today we're back for our scene-by-scene breakdown of Pluto the series, and today we'll be starting episode 10. Woo!
Woo!
Into the drama we go.
Very deep.
Yeah, we're getting the Oom stuff. It's happening, everyone. We've made it. We're getting there.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Sure.
All right. But before we get into all the fun drama of this episode, let's first start off with our corrections and clownery section. So today we'll start off with a comment from YouTube user Nora11.8, who writes on our episode 9.1 part 1 discussion. The first part explains a lot about May's character. The people meant to love her for talking about her parents and the fuck shit that went down when she was a kid. The people meant to love her first hurt her most. This is such a good comment, by the way. I'm just saying that now. We're like 2 sentences in. It's amazing how small her needs seemed to her father because he wanted to fulfill his dreams, not her own. His love came with conditions she could never meet. She was expected to fix his mistakes and not live her life. She learned to silence herself to survive his presence. It's so ironic because parents should be the safe place for their child, not the reason she needed one. They're the ones who should have protected her, but they ended up being the ones she needed protection from. And then writes, English is not my first language. I'm so sorry for any mistakes. No mistakes whatsoever. All of that was so super accurate and well said. Thank you, Nora.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, it's perfect. That's exactly what happened.
No, and I agree. It's really like it's sad because you're right. Like usually, like the parent should protect her, but she needed protection from them, which is so messed up. And explains a lot about May, why she's like always on the defensive with literally everybody in her life. Because like she grew up in an environment where like she could trust literally nobody because they might hurt her. So May does a lot of like not great stuff, but like the environment that shaped her was not great as a child, you know? So thank you, Nora, for
There's
pointing that out.
always trauma.
Yeah, and trust issues and yeah, that's fucked. Anyway, thank you.
All right, so let's head to Patreon, where the first comment's from WhiteCat112.
Woo!
I always appreciate how enthusiastically you guys discuss the show. Makes me love the show more. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, White Cat.
That's so sweet. And then they continue. For an I May date, I feel like they would be going to I's favorite small hole in the wall food stall near I's grandma's house, and I would be telling May all the trouble she got into around that area. In my head, I's friends sees and goes to tease them. LOL.
That's really cute. So thank you for answering Caitlin's challenge to say what kind of date I and May would go on. That's a really cute one. And I's friends, particularly Pang, would absolutely tease the shit out of I on the date.
I
And
assume
also,
that this is after they talk and know who each
yeah,
other are.
I assume all of that, but also, let's be real, Pang is probably walking by on a date with Jan, so like Jan's like,
Yeah.
I will also help you tease both of them. So that would be really funny. Where's that deleted scene?
That's the sequel, Theora.
I don't know, because we jumped to them getting married at the end, so like they're deleted scene.
Okay.
All right, next up is Wordjipin, or however Caitlin says it. You've never corrected us.
You've commented since then, but you've never corrected us. So
So they write, I think rewatching Pluto makes you realize how questionable May can be. Yes, if you take anything away from this podcast, it is that May is super questionable always. Wordjipin continues, but given how unhinged her character is in the novel, yes, it is not really surprising that some of that bled into the show May as well. Her character is I'm gonna live read some stuff to Caitlin so you can get Caitlin's reaction of like the shenanigans that go down in the novel when we get the Oom's point of view. So just wait for that. It's so unhinged. Okay, anyway. To answer your question about why May did not tell I that her eyesight was improving, other than wanting to wait until she could see I, which is what she keeps saying in the show, everyone, I think May likes having an advantage or the upper hand in situations. You are absolutely correct.
Yes.
Throughout the series, she consistently tries to position herself as the one in control, whether she is orchestrating conversations in a way that keeps I from leaving or withholding important information until the moment it benefits her. This shows in how she plans things out and manipulates situations so they go her way. Since she was blind for a good portion of the series, I like to think the feeling of not being the vulnerable one for once. I think she likes the feeling, sorry, of not being the vulnerable one for once. This makes a lot of sense character wise. It does. That's a really excellent point because it kind of goes back to our YouTube comment where like May grew up in an environment where she never felt safe. And so and, she was bullied. And then I was like, hey, listen, learn how to fight. So then here's May always in fight mode where she always needs to have the upper hand and doesn't want to be vulnerable ever. So that's a really good point.
Hmm.
Excuse me. All right. And then they continue. Another reason I think she does this is that she likes the way I dotes on her and cares for who wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
Seriously. I would love to be May right now.
Right? Which would probably change to some extent if she admitted she could see. It's kind of selfish and messy, but also very human, to be honest. Yeah, you're right. May is human, and who wouldn't want romantic eye at their beck and call? Like, come on now, you are correct.
Yeah, that is pretty fair to say because some of what I is doing is literally because May can't see. But I'm sure if May was like, "Can you damn it."
Sorry, she never strays too far from the sidewalk. I'm just saying, she can't see.
That's true.
I know.
Unfortunately, she's not even safe on the sidewalk,
I know she's
so,
not safe anywhere. I know that was so fucked.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm no, I know, okay. So I'm sure if she told I kinda liked it when you guided me across the room or did any of this, she would still do it because this is I, and I just wants to make May happy.
I would literally do that forever, no matter what. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, those are facts.
Okay, our last comment is from BJR,
Woo!
and they said, "I really enjoyed your episode breakdown. So rather than say anything about the episode, I'd like to comment on an item that you've mentioned at least a couple times while reviewing Girl Love shows, including in this breakdown. Thank you. Correct us and educate us, whatever you want to do. That is what this is for. This is the use." So BJR continues. "This is the use of traditional cameras instead of phones to take pictures. This is a strong trend in real life that is reflected in Girl Love. May was using a camera instead of a phone in somewhere somehow. The recent Numtown film, sorry, I'm still working on Numtown's the pronunciation of retraining my brain for that, so that's why I paused. Numtown film Her trailer starts with film taking pictures on a classic, beautiful, and expensive Leica M9. In real life, there is a video of Ling Ling coming up to Orm to tell Orm that she just bought a very nice compact camera that matches Orm's. Ling Ling probably knows who the tech person is in their pairing. Google search certainly knows that real cameras are a trend. In fact, even I broke down and bought a used camera and lenses recently." That is fair. Like, I totally understand, like, people using real cameras. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you can get better quality. Like, using real life cameras, like, yeah, they're great. I have one as well with multiple lenses. And then it gets to a point where I'm like, I'm really sick of carrying this around. My phone, sometimes my phone takes better photos. It all depends on the situation and what you want to do. But anyway, thank you. That is, it's nice to see the cameras too.
No, it's true. It's just like in a lot of circumstances, your phone is a better camera. Like,
Yeah, I find that for myself at least.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
with me knowing how to use the camera, like on manual even. It's just the lighting, the phone. It's just so much easier to just whip it out of your pocket and just be like, yeah, I don't know.
And like
That's
in the
personal though.
and I'm with you, BJR. Like it definitely is a thing, and like to all of Caitlin's points, super valid. In this show though, it's another it really is another addition to just like how much thought I put into like the excursion with May that she like to your point, if her phone, who knows what kind of phone I has, let's be honest, she broke. So
Yes.
like the camera was probably a better camera than her phone. So she was like, well, I want to capture these moments with May in the best way possible. I'm going to bring a camera to make sure I get the best quality. It just like goes to show her thought process for sure. Cause she's just being extra with this to make everything perfect, even though May can't see it. Like the photos would just be for her in the show, if May could never get her vision back. So that's I being
Yeah.
like, I want to capture this in the best way humanly possible with the better technology than probably her phone.
Yeah. That's fair.
It sure is. Well, thank you everybody for writing in. And as always, please correct us, add your commentary. We appreciate hearing from you, and it definitely adds to the discussion that is Pluto the series. So we appreciate all of you. All right. And with that, let's jump into episode 10. All right, so this episode opens with a flashback in 2022 where Meemaw is watching the nightly news as one does, and the news is reporting about Ben's motorcycle accident. And there's a witness out here, everyone, that's telling the news team that he saw street racers tearing up the road. Then a white car crashed into them and sped off. And then it cuts to footage of the motorbike on the ground. And then the reporter says, I think they're seriously injured or maybe dead. So naturally, Meemaw's mind leapfrogs to, oh my god, I is dead, and starts panicking, okay? And then very symbolically drops her sewing kit, which scatters to the ground like broken dreams because her granddaughter's dead in her brain. And then following suit, she literally collapses to the ground. And if anyone out there is still doubting how much Meemaw loves I, well, here's your proof. Like, there's the thought of I no longer existing on this mortal plane sent Meemaw to the ground.
Yeah, this shows like no matter what twin was in this coma from the beginning, Mima would have been right there doing the exact
Yeah.
same thing that she did. And it's great to see this. Okay, well, not this.
I love seeing old
Um,
women collapse. It's the best. It's so fun. No, I'm messing with
Add
you.
that to lines taken out of context on this podcast. Um, but it's great to see like after we spent so long in I's head, where she didn't think anyone cared about her, which is why we didn't see Mima like acting the same way towards both twins. Like it's just great to see this different point of view and showing that Mima really does care in the exact same way that she cares for Oom.
Yeah, I think that's a good theme of this episode, period. But like, it's important here because this was a flashback before we get to like the present, where Mima's being like very caretakey towards I. And as we saw on the journey of the show, it took a while for them to get there. So like, I wouldn't have known how much Meemaw cares. Only Oom is really seeing it right now because Oom's about to enter the scene. But that's a good point, Caitlin, that like whichever twin would have ended up in the coma, like Meemaw's reaction would have been the same because she loves them equally. She doesn't play favorites, even though the twins think that Meemaw has a
I
favorite that's
mean,
not them.
there might be a certain edge to which one on the basis of the day. Like I totally understand that. Like who's treating me the best that day?
I mean, that's
They have
valid.
a slight edge. Yeah, that's just normal. But when it comes to like loving them,
Yeah.
she's gonna be right there loving them both, no matter what.
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
There's also something else that I noticed while watching this, and this is just like looking at her room in general, because we get a little bits of her room during these shots, and I
Yes.
noticed that like her walls are mostly bare, and there's less personality in her room than the twins' room. So I feel like this is a visual representation that she uses any extra money that she has on the twins, not like
Yeah.
buying herself stuff that she likes. And but because we know she has a person, everyone has a
For sure,
personality.
for sure.
She just doesn't let herself have the luxury of showcasing that and making her bedroom her own.
Ooh, yeah, no, that keyword luxury, because we see over and over that they struggle with money, and that Mima can't even afford medicine for herself because she like is like, no,
Mhm.
I gotta send the twins to school and etc. So that's valid, and that's a good catch that her room is also reflective of the fact that Mima neglects herself and her needs to put the twins first. And then you wonder why I ended up the way she did. It's because this woman raised her, and I does the same fucking thing.
And before anyone comments about the TV and that being a luxury, obviously it's a necessity because she has to keep track on I on the streets. That's showed in this scene.
She got to keep up with the news.
Yeah.
She's just being a good citizen. That's all. Or netizen. I don't know what the correct term is here.
I think netizen would be on the internet. I don't know. Anyway, that's not important.
Anyway, that's not important right now. Okay, what is important is that Meemaw falls down and makes a loud crash sound. And then Oom must have heard. Who knows what Oom was doing? Oom was engulfed in the TV. So she heard this. And so Oom runs into the room and starts freaking out. Okay, and think about it. Oom has no context for why Meemaw is on the ground. Like none, because Meemaw's not talking. She's just like collapsed and is like in the fetal position on the ground. So Oom finds this, and instead of rushing to help Meemaw, Oom's first instinct is to find I. Like she starts yelling, like, I need Ioon, I need your help. Like that's basically what she's doing. And to me, that's super telling because like when Oom is in a crisis, her first instinct is get I. Get my big sister who's brave and fixes everything. I think that's like what this is showing us.
That's fair. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, her first instinct is to get her sister, the one who's especially at this point, I believe it's at this
Yeah.
point, like being the one to make sure that she is there for everybody.
Well, like at this stage, I and Oom are on the outs with each other. So like here's Oom being like, danger, where's Ioon? Like and again, Oom at this point has no context that Meemaw fell down because she thinks I is dead. That's not why Oom is calling out for I. She doesn't know that. She's just like, grandma's in trouble. Where's my big sister? Like that's what she's doing. Which again, revealing about Oom's headspace and what she's like in a crisis versus I would be like throwing hands with people, although there's no one to fight in this scene. Who knows? Maybe she would beat up the TV. It's I.
Beat up the TV. Well, I feel like
you made my grandma sick.
I could see her, not literally, but like I could see her like picking up Meemaw, being like, "Boom, let's go!"
Yeah, like eyes all action. Like she would have done something in this scene. Okay. Excuse me. But that's not where we're at. Right now, is freaking out trying to find I, and it doesn't work because who knows where I is right now. So then after that, then she goes to get Meemaw. So call for I, then get Meemaw. Okay. And I assume off screen somehow Oom manages to get Meemaw to the hospital because in the next scene, we cut to I running to the ER where Oom is by herself crying in the hallway in her pajamas. So I figure she's just like, get Meemaw to hospital, and she somehow just did it. So proving that it's not that Oom is not capable of handling a crisis, it's just her instinct in a crisis is where's my big sister kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it kind of reminds me of May when her first instinct was to call
Exactly. I for some reason is the fix it person for everybody in the show. Okay. All right. And then I shows up and is like, oh God, we're in the ER. And she starts asking about Meemaw. And I assume at some point when Oom was getting Meemaw to the hospital, okay, Meemaw must have mentioned something about accidents and motorcycles so that Oom could cobble together what the hell happened because is not like, oh, I'm so glad you're here, our grandmother's sick. No, she starts yelling at and like scolding her and basically saying, we're gathered here today at this hospital with our grandmother hanging on death's door because you insisted on acting like a hooligan. So you need to get your shit together, for the sake of our grandmother. And if you think about this is a total 180 from the prior scene where is like, come help me. Where are you? Kind of thing. So I like that we get these scenes back to back because again, like the love is clearly there from Like clearly loves her sister. But I think in the scene, she's like terrified of losing Meemaw. Cause like, what if Meemaw was dead? Like, and like had a heart attack because she thought I was dead. Like, or wouldn't have even known why Meemaw passed out. She would never know if Meemaw never regained consciousness again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, like in this scene lashing out at I is not because she's like, "You're such a delinquent, I can't stand you." It's more like this is fear manifesting because she's afraid of losing Meemaw. And again, Meemaw must have told her something based on this dialogue. So I think that also is probably terrified of losing I in a motorcycle accident. Because, like, here's the deal. We don't know exactly what Meemaw said to like when she collapsed and they were getting her to the hospital. Like, for all we know, Meemaw was mumbling like motorcycles, dead, I. And then like, what? And like, who knows what Meemaw was saying to And like, like an who we know is like mentally not the strongest person. Like, and it was already spiraling because Meemaw passed out. Like, if Meemaw would have said some shit like that, then she's like, my sister's dead. You know what I mean? Poor like, what a night for is what I'm saying.
No, she doesn't want to lose any of her family members. So
No!
she's like, "I get your shit together so I don't have to worry about you either." She keeps saying
Yeah.
Meemaw, but
Yeah. Meemaw's
really
code
her
for
as well.
Oh, that's so valid. Yeah. Is like, for Meemaw, I like for
Do
me.
it for Meemaw.
Do it for Meemaw.
Do it for me, Ma.
Ma. That's really good. That might be the title of this episode. Seriously though, poor, you know what? This is why I love Poor okay? Because she comes off as being like, wow, you're just yelling at I. It's like, no, she's fucking terrified in this scene. And who knows what like, this was her evening. She's like, my grandma's dead, she's not dead. My sister's dead, she's not dead. What is like, poor All right. So
But I
yeah,
mean,
continue. Sorry.
I's gonna have another evening. Anyway, keep going with this.
This is like one of the evenings from hell in the show.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then is like goes to sit down to like, I don't know, collect her thoughts or whatever. And you kind of see I like process this shit and look super fucking guilty. And like, I don't know, not, yeah, and a little bit heartbroken. Cause like, remember, this is the night of Ben's accident. So like, I ran in here to check on Meemaw and already had like the weight of what happened to Ben like on her emotions and on her mind, and then like here's being like, we almost lost Meemaw because you're fuck shit I, and like so poor I, this is not her night either. And like she doesn't vocalize any of that to like notice that she doesn't lash out at and is be like, my friend almost just died or maybe he's dying, I don't know, like and you're giving me shit right now. She doesn't argue back with you know what I mean? She just kind of like takes it and it just looks even more defeated than when she enters the scene.
Because she doesn't want to disappoint either of them. And I feel like part of her probably was concerned about this herself as well. But again, like it was her outlet to do things like this, like riding the motorcycle, the motorbike. Like that's what allowed her to
Yeah.
process things and actually just breathe for herself. Like we've seen that. And so it's just like, do I stop making people worry or at the expense of like not having anything to be an outlet for myself? And it's like her brain is probably like, what do I do? And it hasn't gotten any better, I.
No, also narratively, it's like the author is saying anytime I does anything for herself or acts selfishly, bad karma happens. Cause like here's to your point, like riding motorcycles was her way to like cope with the fact that her family didn't love her in her brain. And then like it almost kills Ben. And almost kills Meemaw. So it's like I can't win ever. Like she's never allowed to like do things just solely for herself. Cause anytime she does, bad shit happens. Like narratively, that happens over and over again in Pluto. Like
That
poor
is
I.
that is the title of the show.
I know. So like it makes sense why she's always like, no, I must sacrifice my happiness because anytime I try to be happy, bad shit happens to other people. Like these writers are mean to her. Chow, what the hell?
All of the characters have stuff. But like, yeah, this is messed up for her
It's
character.
super messed up for I. Okay. So I is having big feelings about all this, obviously. And then we cut away from I and and shoot on over to I reuniting with Pang and Kosol, who are waiting outside. And I guess she told them I had to go because my grandma might be dead. Who knows? And so they ask about Meemaw, and she fills them in that Meemaw's okay. And then I is like, okay, well, what the fuck's going on with Ben? So again, she like ran into that room having no idea what Ben's status is. And Kosol delivers the devastating news that Ben is in a coma, which sounds terrible. But then the doctor adds we should expect a grim result, which, like,
Why
Jesus
would the doctor
Christ.
say that?
I don't know. That's a fucked up thing to say.
Just like, just remain hopeful. That's what you're supposed to say.
No, I don't think so. I think the doctor is like probably commenting on his spine, to be honest. Was like, no, this is a really bad accident. Like, they probably said something where like he's not gonna be as he was before this accident, which is true. Because like they would have seen that spinal fracture.
Maybe Kosol read too much into it and was like, yeah, we have to expect a
It's
grim
Kosol.
result.
He's never reliable. This is the
He's
same
done.
man who's like, eyes like, yeah, we should do something. He's like, assault the lawyer. Got it. Like, that's him. Okay.
He's not reliable, yet he can be so wise. I don't
get him. Yeah, no, it's so true. Then he's like, oh, eyes telling me to go kill this woman. Got it. When she did not say that at all.
No. He is a very questionable and like interesting character to dissect. I wish we did get more of him just to figure out what the hell is going on up there.
You're right, because yeah, he does oscillate between being stupid as fuck and then like really wise. Like in the same scene. It's kind of amazing.
Like, he has some of the best lines.
He does. He really does. Sorry, that's really funny. He does some stupid shit, but then he's also like really smart. I don't get him. Okay, anyway, so then he tells her this horrible shit, and he's like, oh, Ben's mom's heartbroken. So this news, on top of everything else, weighs so heavily on I that she physically sits down. And then, enraged as fuck, Pang and Kosol start plotting to murder Batman, basically. But then I chimes in as the voice of reason, is like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, what even are we doing right now? Which gives Pang and Kosol pause on their vengeance plan. And I found this really interesting coming from I, who later on, we'll see, we've already seen in flashbacks and we're going to see it again, is the one who incites everyone's anger against Batman's lawyer. But here, in the actual heat of the moment, she's the voice of reason and calms everyone down.
I think it's because Oom was just got to her. Being like, stop making Meemaw worry. So like, she needs that constant reminder not to do something stupid.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And like if you look at Ai's body language, like in the scene, it's like she's like, I don't know. She looks to me like she's like trying to get her shit together and like get her emotions under control and try to be the rock that everyone relies on. Because the way she tries to like, she does some deep breaths and tries to put herself together. And we see over and over again that I does this for the people she loves, where she'll just like conceal, don't feel whatever the hell's going on with her so that she can be whatever the people around her need her to be. But to your point, I do think that Oom's words, where she's basically like, grow the fuck up and get your shit together, I think that's also fresh on her mind right now. But again, like, to me, this was stupid because, like, Batman is the reason we're here, not May. So you should go after Batman. He's actually the reason we're here, not May. I'm just saying.
If we're gonna go after anybody, it should be Batman.
It should be the dude that almost killed your friend, not the lawyer who was doing their job.
Yeah. I mean, technically, don't lawyers, like, not ask their client if they did it or not? Because they're just gonna argue in their defense. Because
that is her job. That is quite literally her job, is to defend him and get him off the charges. Like, that is her actual job. It's like being like, well, we should go kill whoever invented that car, because if they didn't invent the car, then none of this would have happened. It's like that. It's like, no. The person driving the car with malicious intent is the culprit, not the person who created the vehicle that made it that facilitated this. It's like that. It's like you're going after the wrong person. But anyway, that's just my pet peeve in general. There's another girl love that does that, and I'm like, what are you doing? But that's not why we're here. We're here for this scene here with poor Ayun. But I'm with you. I think that if for some reason was at the funeral and was like, "I get your shit together before you have Meemaw a heart attack," she wouldn't have blurted out her angry thoughts about killing the lawyer.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you separate the twins. I ends up on the dark side, and you know what I mean, without like pulling her the light. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that, the yin and yang of like the twins, which is always fun when you have twins. All right, so after this, we fast forward to who knows when is dragging the waitress, out of a bar. And is appalled that has stooped so low as to work at this disreputable and dangerous place. So is like, listen, bitch, whatever debts you have, I'm gonna pay them off so that you can quit this job and go home before something bad happens to you. So here's coming to save from herself again. And I like in the scene that reads to filth because she's already knows everything. She's like, I know you're spending money on trying to go to college and trying to support Meemaw and maintaining your motorcycle and probably trying to buy that RV that we see later. And mentions, she's like, I know you're doing this to change your life, right? So again, this is at the stage where they're on the outs with each other. So I don't think I and are having deep conversations at night, you know what I mean, about their lives. I think that people meaning Meemaw and I have very much underestimated how observant is, I think, a lot of
Mhm.
this time. And so I think picked up the context clues on all of this shit. I think that saw through the fact that I wasn't really going to college. Like, we don't actually know how that went down. Like, she probably found out, was like, "What are you?" It probably followed her one day and was like, "What are you doing?" and like
I
called
want
her
that
out.
scene. I want that scene.
Me too. That would have been an
And I
amazing
think,
scene.
like, for to recognize that I is trying to change her life is a big thing because it, like you said, like, it shows that she is paying attention to I. And again, I thought no one was paying attention to her, but her sister was. And
Yes.
it shows that she actually cares enough to notice when it's not heading in the right direction. Because she let her go for a little bit, but when it was starting to not be a good thing, she's like, "No, I have to be involved. This cannot keep going in this trajectory or else no one's going to win." And it just shows how much care is behind that has for her entire family, but that I doesn't realize that she has for her.
Yeah, and like this scene seems odd when you contrast it with the scene we got earlier on in the season when I's outside washing the motorbike and then comes home from flight attending and is like explaining what her day has been like. She's like, I've been up since 3 a.m. Somebody threw up on me. You know what I mean? Like she's going off
Mhm.
about how tired she is. And she's like, I wish I had a life of leisure like you do, I. And she's basically like, when are you gonna get your shit together and get a real job? Like, remember that scene where
Yeah.
comes off as like, what the fuck are you doing with your life? I wish I had it as easy as you. And I's like, you don't know anything about me, and like storms off kind of thing. I wonder if like because like just came off of like a 12-hour shift. You know what I mean? It was like probably not like she was like unfiltered. You know what I mean? I wonder if she like thought about that interaction and was like, maybe I should give I the benefit of the doubt or like figure out what's going on with her, but I never wants to talk to me. So then I wonder if that kind of sparked her to be like, let me like watch her a little bit more closely. And maybe she saw I in the middle of the night put money into like the tin where Meemaw keeps the money. You know what I mean? Imagine I kept doing that. And she was just like, I'm going to slip more money in there so Meemaw has money. And kind of like followed I maybe. And like, to your point, I wonder if that kind of like sparked this. And then here's being like, because she recognizes that I is trying to change her life, not just like do all these good deeds that have nothing to do with like enriching herself, basically. Like, yeah, she has to maintain the motorcycle to get to work. Like, she was a DoorDash driver for a while. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I do like that she gives I credit. She's like, I see that I gave you shit about having a shitty life, basically, and here you are trying to make it better, but you're still doing stupid shit. Is basically what is saying. So I like that she recognizes that I is trying to do better, and I is not just this vagrant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and here's being like, I am financially in a better spot. Let me help you. Lean on me, kind of thing. Which the sentiment is all fine and dandy, but the way is going about this conversation has major I'm so tired of your shit I energy that I understandably misconstrues Oom's goodwill as judgmental and a superiority complex. You know what I mean? Because she's like, "You're being
Yeah.
a dumb bitch." I
Yeah, I feel like in some ways it's like I thinking that she's offering her money just to like wield her power and success over her.
right,
But that's not what Oom's doing. Like
correct.
she's just seeing how hard I is working herself and that it's causing her to look for like technically destructive outlets to cope with the stress. But if gives her the money, then she doesn't have to worry about I and Meemaw because
Yep.
Meemaw won't have to worry about I's safety. So in return, like this makes all this the whole situation better. And then also being able to even offer the money to I shows that I was able to accomplish what she wanted to in the first place. And that was to make it so that had opportunities and also allow I to help support Meemaw.
Yes.
But now has made it and can offer her own support. So I can actually take the time to focus on herself. So it's basically what well, Meemaw never did it. She never expect to have there be a time where she can focus on herself, but she was always like, I don't want my granddaughters to be in the same situation I am. That's what I did. But she's young enough to the fact where she can make it herself. And her sister is now allowing her to do that. She just needs to accept that fact.
Yeah. No, 100 million%. And it's like the roles are reversing, is what's happening here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then made some comment about the bartending gig, which is a valid job, by the way. But sounds like is being elitist, but a little bit. But anyway, she makes this comment where she's like, "Ah, you're just taking any old job, even if it's dangerous," kind of thing. Like, set your standards higher is basically what is saying. And okay, we had a whole and this in chronologically, okay, this happens after we had that flashback of I trying to hunt for jobs after she has her degree and is not getting callbacks basically or any kind of interview. So it's not that I didn't set high standards for herself. It's just that those opportunities that is alluding to in this conversation, I has not been able to get her foot in the door anywhere. So bartending is a more stable job than door dashing, honestly. It's fairly consistent money with tips, and then hours could be more the hours that she works could be something she can rely on potentially. Yeah, it comes with the caveat of you work late hours because that's when bars are open, and that's gonna worry Mima, who's like, when's I coming home, but in a way, this could be seen as a step up from door dashing in a way, but Oom's like, this is still dangerous. Anyway, so then I tries to defend herself by saying listen, girl, I don't have much of a choice in what job I can find because again, we saw the flashback of her trying and failing, right? So then counters with, well, here the fuck I am offering you a much safer alternative, girl. Let me take care of you. That's what Oom's offering, right? To your point. This is the reversal of this is the payback in a way for hey, you helped me. I'm gonna help you kind of thing. Cause you know, to your point, Oom's been the ultimate good girl. She did all the things. She went to college, she got the stable, higher earning job. And think about her job, which we've brought up before. Now, she's at the part where she knows May, but we don't know if this is when she's working with Paul's airline. And this is when she's on Paul's airline because they were dating after Paul's airline. But made it to this point, okay, by working at that other airline where she was 100% getting harassed on the daily, but didn't tell her family that. She just went went through that shit to keep the job where she was getting all that money, right? So like the good girl was also struggling, but didn't tell her family that with her higher paying job. Okay. And here's doing exactly what did exactly what I did. She sucked it up during that horrible time where she's getting harassed and like brought the money home to support her family and like told nobody really about that struggle except May because she started getting threatening emails and like May helped her with May happened to see the harassment and like stepped in, right?
Hmm. It just shows also that any job can be dangerous,
Yeah,
you know?
totally. Like
Just different ways of danger.
seriously, how did you meet May? That man almost like sexually assaulted you and or abducted you in broad daylight. Like, yeah. I is not getting abducted at her bartending job. She's doing just fine. She just smells like alcohol at night because she works at a bar. Okay, but here's the deal. Like, knows I well enough to know that I hates being a charity case, to your point. Okay, so she's like, she obviously wants to help her sister, but the way she frames it is she's like, look, how about this is a loan situation? Okay, something that I can pay back after she completes college, gets a better job. Excuse me. And then like she's like, you can pay me back. So this is temporary. This is not me just like giving you a bunch of money silently the way I did. I gave everybody money and never expected them to pay her back. Like, no, I'm not. It's a loan, right? I'm a bank. Just think of me as a bank, not your sister trying to help you. I'm just a bank, okay? That's fine, right? That's not weird.
What's the Bank of Oom's interest rate?
Um, I would like my girlfriend back. The cost is May. The cost is May.
And if I knew all of this at this point, she would be like, "No, never. I will never get my life together."
No, never. Okay, so then I thinks about this for a second, and then she starts to argue with because of course she does, and then cuts her off and is like, "Listen, I will tell Meemaw everything if you say no." And like, I love that has to threaten her before I's like, "Okay, fine, okay, fine." But can we also talk about the fact that during this argument, it cuts to I's name tag and her alias at the bar was Cherry? How did we get that name? Any thoughts? How did we get Cherry the bartender?
Okay, so my first thought is they're like, "Alright, what's the most stereotypical, I don't know, stripper name in America?"
It does sound like a stripper name. It does. She's a bartender, not a stripper.
But I feel like that's what they were trying to allude to.
Same. Like, is this a Coyote Ugly bar where there's dancing and semi-sexual dancing at the bar from the bartenders? Like, is that normal in Thailand? I don't know.
But also with Thai nicknames, you can never assume anything
Exactly.
because I don't know.
If you have thoughts at home of how I's alias, like, is it a theme? Do all the bartenders have fruit themed names? Like, or did she come up with this randomly? Like when she applied, she's like, "No, you don't need to know my real name. This is cash under the table. My name is Cherry."
How did I come up with the name Cherry?
It had to
Leave
be.
it in the comments.
Yeah, just leave it in the comments. I'm just curious why I has a stripper name at the bar. Like, if that's the thought, I understand why Oom's like, "Oh my god, she's a stripper name." I wonder why Oom's so concerned. Like,
If you are listening to this and your name is Cherry, we are not saying you are a
we're
stripper. It's
not.
just something I feel like that's like a stereotypical thing in American media.
It
So
definitely
that's
is.
us as Americans saying that.
It definitely is. But you put it together with her bar and the way the bartending job and the way Oom's freaking
Yeah.
out. It paints a picture, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
It really does.
It does. Okay. Anyway, so the threat of Meemaw finding everything out freaks I out enough that she agrees with Oom's plan. And she agrees to like go home to the safety of Meemaw's house after she quits her stripper slash bartending job. But Oom's not going to be joining I at home because she has a date which the good girl, already cleared with Meemaw. She's like, don't worry, grandma knows. So you can't be like, I'll rat you out on your date. Which I'm probably sure is what I's like, yeah, okay, girl.
Boy, does Meemaw know.
Meemaw knows everything about Oom. Except the sexual harassment at work. Okay. But well, my question is like at this stage, in here, like when like does Meemaw know she's dating May at this point, or like did leave that detail out? This when did Meemaw find out about May specifically? Was it when was heartbroken over losing May, or like did she know the whole time was dating May? Because I would find it really weird if like Meemaw, maybe not, I don't know, if Meemaw already knew about May specifically and then like never like accidentally let that slip around that
Maybe
must be with May. Like,
maybe
who's
Oom was
May?
like, I don't want to tell I right now.
Yeah, but like if it slipped out of Meemaw by accident, like slip ups happen. But like maybe
I know,
that's
but I
a
feel like Meemaw would be good at it.
well, I don't know. I just feel like if that's true and she knew, maybe it's just a testament to like the fact that they're not communicating right now. Like, and then she just never had the chance to tell because they were on the outs kind of thing where I was like avoiding Meemaw because she was lying to her about not being in
Mhm.
college and stuff. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Did Meemaw know about May specifically at this stage? I don't actually know, but maybe she did. That's why she's like, I'm going on a date with my hot lawyer girlfriend. I'll be fine. We're not going to be at bars with Cherry tonight. Or I.
I'd like to also add a disclaimer that we're not saying if you are a stripper, it's bad either.
Oh,
It
no,
all
not at all.
depends.
That's a valid job. Not at all. No judgment to strippers whatsoever. That's
Yes.
a rough gig. Like, power to you.
The
It's just
sexual
that
harassment you must face.
Like just insinuating her sister's a stripper and she's a
Yeah.
bartender, which doesn't make sense. So, to us. Anyway, then we get this epic and clever sequence where a fancy car rolls up to get while I is by her motorcycle. And I is curious about who the fuck is picking up But then she conveniently knocks over her helmet and then has to bend over and pick that up. So she can't see the driver when she rolls down the window. And she misses this image of May as date. And by the time she turns back around, the window with the tint is up, so she can't see who Oom's on a date with.
Convenient.
Great job, GMMTV. This is not in the novel, and I love this scene. It's so good. Because again, it's here's your evidence of I orbiting May haphazardly without realizing it for
And in this
years.
moment, May could have found out that her girlfriend was a twin.
Correct.
So, like, why wasn't more freaked out about her coming to pick her up right now?
I guess felt very secure in her relationship with May at this point and was like, May's into
Oh,
me. May's coming to get me.
you poor thing.
Or maybe Oom's head was in the clouds right now. And she's like, oh, my girlfriend's coming to get me. And like, didn't think. Probably thought, well, here's the deal. She's like, I go quit your job. So she probably thought I was logically would go inside and be like, I quit. And she didn't. I was like, I'm going to be a nosy bitch right now. I don't think was paying attention to I at all, is the thing.
I have a theory that is definitely out there.
Oh my god.
Ready? So, not May, has superpowers. And she can move things with her mind, and that's why the helmet really dropped off the motorcycle.
That's what it is. It's not that we get the shot of I leaning on her bike and knocking it over with her hand.
No, because there's a huge force that made I do that.
Like, pushed I away.
Yes.
Great job, Caitlin.
I didn't say it was plausible. I just said that's what my brain came up with, so you're welcome.
I wish had superpowers. She deserves that, to be honest.
I just want a superhero show.
Someday. I'm hoping someday we do get a superhero show.
It'd be so much fun.
It would be so much fun. All right. Well, is the next scene fun? Who knows? Okay, so then after that amazing flashback, we then cut to Ton entering May's room to check in on her. because poor May. So when he gets in the room, May looks like super lost in thought. Okay, like this bitch is not here. She's not on this planet. So he's like, I brought you food because the maid let it slip that May hasn't been eating. Because again, we don't check in with the maid enough because she knows
No.
everything.
She literally does know
She
everything, and
does.
she's writing a soap opera in the background, and it's literally just this story, and she's
She's
gonna make millions,
she's
and
Chow Ploy, actually, is the
yes,
maid.
that's how we get these stories.
That's
They're
how we get
actually
these
real,
stories.
everybody. It's real life.
It's real.
Even though there is a disclaimer saying that it's not real in the beginning. It's just a ruse. Anyway,
I agree.
I find it
I'm
hilarious
here for that.
when Tan comes in and he just looks exhausted by May refusing to eat. Like it's like he's thinking that she can never make things easy for him.
No.
He's like, "Oh god, I've got to get back here." She's like, and like the way that he just holds up the bag to
I
be
know, and
like,
he
"I
like
brought you
dangles it.
food." It's hilarious.
I
And
know.
then, like, him resorting to this playful brother dynamic when he's like, "If you eat, you'll stay pretty." I just yeah. It's hilarious. This part's hilarious to me in this scene.
Yeah, no, he's really cute in this scene because like obviously May is not okay. We know that. You can see that if you look at May in this scene. And to your point, poor Ton does his best to try and cheer May up, but she gets so easily annoyed with him and is like, "Fuck off, Ton." And he's trying to be like cheerful and shit and then helpful and then he's like, well, he's like, we all know, we meaning you and me all know why you're upset, May. Like you should just talk to I about whatever the fuck is going on, but you refuse to do that and you won't go see her. Okay, like meaning like this is like the equivalent of being like, get your shit together and fix your own fucking problems. That's basically what he's doing, and he's like her brother, to your point, because this was I and would be like, get your shit together, I, and go do something about it. That's what he's
Tan's
doing.
like Tan's like, "I fixed 99 of your problems, but I can't fix this one."
Seriously. That is absolutely what is happening in the scene. And then May, this bitch, insists she's done everything that she could and it is all up to Ioun. Really, May? You did everything?
I feel like it's
Everything?
always up to I to make this relationship go a little further. It's always I.
You did
Just let
everything?
her do it.
You did everything? You told her you know that she's not You did everything?
You did the bare
I
minimum.
know.
No, the bare minimum is literally telling her what the hell is happening. You didn't do the bare minimum.
Call her by her name. May did everything she wanted to do. Amendment to that sentence. May did everything she wanted to do, okay? Jesus Christ. And Ton rolls his eyes as he should at this because this is ridiculous and he knows it's fucked up. And then he asks her a very serious and important question when he's like, well, what will you do if I decides to leave you for real? Like, are you going to accept her decision? Because you're leaving this all up to her without explaining anything to her. Okay? And if you watch May in the scene, like May really hesitates before she answers this question, which is interesting because May usually has an answer ready for everything. But here she doesn't when she gets this question. Like, will you accept it? She pauses for a hot minute. Okay.
She's also usually the person to do everything it takes to get what she wants.
Uh-huh.
She's not who she is usually right
Who are
now.
you? Do you have a twin?
No, that's my question this entire series. Who are you? And
Who
the
are you?
audacity of her.
Who are you, the series? No, who are you
No,
really?
that is the yeah, who are you the series? That's perfect, actually.
Who are you, the series? Okay. Here's the deal for this that I find really interesting. So think about it. Why is Ton here? Ton's here is because May's been held up in her room thinking through everything and sulking. But like May is logical, right? So I imagine she's been just like strategizing nonstop, hence why she's like spaced out when he comes in. So I would imagine if May, the 3D chess genius, at some point in her line of thinking, came up, like, had to come stumble across this possibility that he's bringing up, where it's like, "Well, I's just gonna leave you, right? If you don't like come at some point, I's gonna get fed up and go, right?" But I get the sense that, like, from this hesitation, that May, if and when that thought crossed her mind, she did not dwell on that line of thinking for too long, because I think it's too painful for her to even like imagine that possibility. You know what I mean? Because like, look at her in this scene. Like when she gets posed that question, she looks, and then when she responds, sounds like a sad puppy. And when she does speak, she doesn't even answer the question. She answers his question by posing another question and is like, can I not accept that if it happens, basically? Which is not an answer. It's a meaning
No.
that May has no answer for that if it happens. Like, if I leaves her, she has no plan for that. That's what that means, which May always has a plan. So that's very different.
She's broken.
You think she's broken?
No, it's just like this whole thing is she doesn't know what to do here.
I mean, May, tell her the truth.
That's literally all there is.
Just
I
tell her
mean, I
the
don't understand why we
truth.
don't do that. Why we still didn't get it in this part, I don't understand. I don't understand we haven't gotten it like 2 episodes ago.
The truth will set us free, guys, and here we are.
If you love them, let them go. They come back, it's meant to be. Just tell the damn truth.
Well, that's if Manma wrote this. Manma didn't write this.
True.
Chow wrote this.
Mhm.
Chow, the maid, who's got her ear pressed up to this door, listen to this bullshit conversation or writing it all down. I don't know what Chow. Listen, we don't know Chow, but we don't know what she does in her spare time. This is all fan fiction about her writing process that is probably absolutely false, but it entertains us, so
Definitely false.
we don't know. Why should
Everything
this be
we
real?
say
Why
is
should this
false.
be real?
Let's Chow come talk to us.
Yeah, gotcha. I would love to know what goes on in your brain. Anyway, so like that's May's response. May's response is, I have no idea what to fucking do with that, but I don't want to accept it, basically. And Tan, like us, doesn't know what to do with this, so he just rolls his eyes. And luckily for Tan, he doesn't have to continue this ridiculous conversation because I enters the scene. Okay. And why is I here? Well, we get this really weird flashback that's supposed to explain why I is here. Because I, if you recall, was at Ben's and was having that conversation with Kosol where he tells her that I told him to blind May, which is not what happened.
No, it's
And
not.
it's not what happened at all. So then after that ridiculous conversation, Kosol and I apparently have this like heart to heart with each other after he's like, oh, I's really upset. Let me be wise for a minute instead of ridiculous. So he goes and talks to I, and basically he's like, listen, I think you need to, the truth will set us free, basically, is what he says. I think you need to tell May and the truth. Yes. Because at this point, only the truth can save us from this madness, hence this conversation we're having right now. And because he knows I really well, Kasul adds that, like, listen, girl, people are going to get hurt no matter what, because this is messy and ridiculous, this whole situation. It's a genuine clusterfuck. Like, if you were to open a dictionary and look up the term clusterfuck, it is this, okay? But he's advising her to tell the truth because he's like, listen, okay, and the truth when it comes out is going to be messy and people are going to get hurt. But if you come clean with like why you did what you did, like perhaps May and will understand your intentions and not see what you did as this malicious, deceptive, horrible thing and be like, I understand where you were coming from. and then maybe we can all heal together. It's basically what he says. So again, we go from like him being ridiculous to like having actual words of wisdom. And here's another one of those scenes where he's actually
Yes.
giving her good advice.
Yeah, he's so wise and then does stupid shit, and
That's
it makes no
basically him.
sense.
That's Kosol.
But he wants I to tell May and the truth. And
Mhm.
I agree with him for May, but I have no idea like what the right thing to do in the case of is because she she's very complicated right now in the fact that she doesn't
Correct.
remember shit. So
Yes.
like what is the deal? I don't even know what's like medically recommended. Like do you tell them what's going on? Do you let them figure it out themselves? What's less traumatic? No one knows. I don't think at least.
No one knows, and it's really interesting that that she doesn't have some kind of like psych follow up for her,
That would have
like
been a nice touch.
for her, because they're all under the assumption that like this is the trauma response, the memory suppression. So I find it really interesting that the hospital didn't set her up with like follow up visits with a psychiatrist to like at least check in on her. Like, who knows? Maybe they did. We just don't see it because like shit spirals out of control really fast, like really fast. Like in 2 episodes, we're go to 0 to 100 in off the rails kind of thing. But like I would like it would have been nice because then maybe we could have understood more about like what we should and shouldn't say about and maybe they could have advised the family and be like, why are you hiding things from her? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Meemaw should not be making all these choices.
No, I feel like a professional should help them. Like, but imagine being the doctor who has to hear this whole story about you know what I mean? They
Hold
have
on.
to be like,
Hold
well,
on. There
I'm
is a
kind of dating
doctor.
her girlfriend because she asked me to break up with her at her wedding after getting married. And like being the psychiatrist and being like, this patient is worse off than I thought. Like, oh
This
my God.
patient should just go move in with another family.
Yeah, the psychiatrist like, yeah, I need to like do home visits to check in on all of you.
Needs ongoing twice weekly therapy.
And that psychiatrist was Chow Flanoy, who heard the story and was like, "Oh God, this would be a great novel." Anyway, who is Chow Flanoy? We don't know. She's the
Now the
fly on the wall.
psychiatrist. Oh my gosh.
Judging
Okay.
by the content of her novels, I do not think she's a psychiatrist.
No, 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 no. I don't. As soon as I said, I was like, I hope not. No offense, Chow.
No offense,
Uh,
Chow.
okay, but back to Kosol. Like how he tells I that someone's gonna get hurt, but at least they'll understand her better. Like he is so right here because like there's no way that someone's not getting hurt in this situation.
Correct.
Everyone's gonna be hurt, and we need to accept that fact
Yes.
and just get through with it. And like, but also in this relationship, while there are these secrets between them, their relationship can never be whole because they aren't understanding each other fully because they're not themselves fully.
Yes. Absolutely.
They can't know each other fully. You
Yes.
just can't.
Agreed.
How can you know it's real and not when you are lying? They're both lying.
Correct. They're all lying. And then what I hate is then they wrap up in the lies later in this episode. Like who is not lying ever. Like then they just make her
Yeah.
complicit in their fuck shit. You know what I mean? Poor Justice for
And
has done
it's
so
just like,
dirty on the
I don't
show.
have memories. I'm just gonna go with it.
Poor And like you'll see later when we get to does not want to be in this position, and like these bitches signed her up for it because they're being ridiculous. Okay, but you know what's ridiculous? We get this flashback where Kasul's like, the truth will set us free, I. You just need to tell the truth. So then we cut back to I in front of May. And so the assumption is I's going to tell May the truth. That's why she's here. And then I's like, I need to tell you something,
Oh no.
May. So then, like, we
Yes.
get those things. You're like, oh, finally, I's going to tell her the truth. But that's not what fucking happens. It's like the opposite happens. Fuck you, editors.
Yeah. There's a line in a little bit.
This is so fucked up. All right. So then after I is like, I have something to talk to you about, May. May admits that she thought I was going to disappear and like probably would have if it wasn't for Kosol's advice, to be honest, to like go sort this shit out. Because probably like what happened was Kosol was like, people are gonna get hurt, and then judging by that editing choice, we're supposed to think, oh, I's gonna come clean about the truth. But I probably thought about that and was like, yeah, people are definitely gonna get hurt. How do I hurt the least amount of people and hurt me myself the most? And that's what I ends up doing. Okay. So then conveniently, I have something to tell May, and then also May has something to tell I. Okay, because May always fucking does this. Okay, anytime this is her always her last move. Okay, anytime she senses that I has something to say that's potentially bad, May will always cut in and say, I have something to say, I. And in the past, what usually happens is I will back up and be like, you go first, May. And then whatever May says inevitably will derail whatever I's about to say. And like, that's so manipulative when you just kind of look at it. And so like
Oh, it is.
I feel like May is trying to do that here.
But
But
doesn't May want her to say that she's I? So like why wouldn't you let her go first? And then like maybe add your stuff on top and maybe actually talk through shit instead of
no,
not
you're
letting any
you're 100%
progress made.
right. So like in this circumstance, like May doesn't do that because of what you're saying. Because I think she's like, I've done everything I can possibly do. I has to tell me the fucking truth. But she has some backup. Like, what was she gonna say? What was her? I have something to talk about you too. Like, what? We never get that from her. But like, I feel like that's always her instinct to be like, no, I have to stop this if I's gonna leave me. Because like, here's her, brother figure being like, what if she leaves you for real? So what if I is coming here to be like, we're done? I think May was gonna be like, what was she gonna be like? I'm pregnant. I don't like, what was she gonna do? You can't trap I with a baby. Like, what were you gonna do, May?
I mean, she could.
She
That'd
totally
be very
could.
interesting.
I would be stupid enough to believe it. She'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna be a
No,
dad?
I
What?
would just take on the responsibility.
No, she would. That's what I mean. She could absolutely has the power to baby trap I if she wanted to. I bet you listening at home didn't think that was gonna come up in Pluto, but here we are. Let us know, what do you think? Could May baby trap I? I feel like the answer is yes.
I think she definitely could.
Like, May could have said that right now, and I would have never left her. She'd be confused, but she would never leave her.
She'd be like, "What?" She wouldn't even ask what happened. She'd be thinking it later, but she'd be like, "I'm with you 100%."
Do we need to go to the doctors? Like, what? Like, she would immediately be like, how do I help? Are you hungry? Like, what do I do? Anyway. Okay, so then the smartest person in this scene is Tan because he
Yeah.
correctly reads the room and excuses himself to freeze the food he brought over so that these two bitches could talk.
I just I love how he holds the bag up and
It was
he's
funny.
just so awkward. And it's just like, I guess I'll just freeze this.
It was
And
what if it was a salad? Like something you can't freeze, and he's like, "I guess I'm just gonna freeze the fucking food because you don't appreciate me, May."
but I love that he goes straight to freezing it because he knows this bitch has no plans on eating it
I
anytime
know.
soon.
It's basically this meal is a metaphor for how May treats him sometimes.
Yeah,
Honestly,
like I'm in the freezer just waiting until she needs me.
yeah, I get to frost it at her convenience. You know what I mean? Anyway,
Poor guy.
poor Ton. He's gone, so he leaves. Okay, and I have a theory about what he was doing. We'll get there later. Okay, but before these two have a conversation, I wants to show May something that she brought over. Okay, because we can't just talk. We have to do show don't tell. Okay, and then maybe we'll tell later. Actually, this is show don't tell. That's the scene. Okay, so then we cut over to I and May, who have relocated to the dining room. And I is opening up the space themed Tupperware container that May gifted her. And inside is her version of May's shrimp and basil omelet that May made I way back when. And at this stage, May is still very much committed to the bit that she is blind, and so she closes her eyes and smells the food. And because she was blind, I think that she actually can recognize that by scent at this point, and like didn't actually look at it, and she's like, "Oh, I know what this is." And she's excited because like eyes reciprocating like food as a love language, cuz like remember when May made that? It was like this big like let me take care of you moment. It was like a big deal. Very cute scene, and then May's like, "I'm going to fuck you after this my eye." And I was like, "I got to go." That was
I
that
gotta
scene.
go.
So who knows? Is that what this means? Is this the pre-sex meal? Who knows? But May is very excited about this. Excuse me. Then they have this really cute banter over May reminding I of a cat because of the way she was smelling the food, to which May meows.
Many times.
Yes. But it's cute. It's kind of just like cute, coupley, being weird, being your weird self and being like appreciated by your partner. Like, I like that. Especially because like things are about to get dark. So, like, thank you for this cute moment. So after the cat flirting, I gives May the spoon so she can try it. Because we've seen I make this omelet quite a few times, actually, ever since May made it. And this is like the first time she's making it for May. So May tries the omelet, and I gets a very resounding A plus Michelin star level review from her girlfriend. Cause like, would you ever doubt I, to be honest with you, she's like always peak girlfriend behavior whenever she's like does anything. Of course it's gonna be good and awesome. Come on now. May knows that. She's like, I don't have to taste this to know this is gonna be perfect. Let's be honest.
Even if it was terrible, she'd be telling her it's perfect.
Well, that also also that. All right, so May admits that this is her favorite recipe and is amazed that I was able to copy the recipe so well after May only made it once for her. And I think it's really interesting that May admits that like this is like one of her favorite meals. To me that adds more depth to the fact that she made it for I. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So not only like in that scene prior did May make it for I to like as a way to take care of her and like show I she loves her by doing that. May was also at the same time sharing like one of her favorite things ever with I and making that like a mutual experience. You know what I mean? So like it adds more depth to that. So she wasn't just like making any random thing. She was like, I'm gonna make you my favorite thing.
Was it always her favorite thing, or was it her favorite thing because that's what she made for I?
I think it's May's favorite, and I's about to say it has become my favorite now because of the
Mhm.
memory attached to it. Because May just says this is my favorite, and then
Yeah.
I says, oh, this has become one of my favorite things, and it will always be one of my favorite things. And because I is associating the meal with the love behind the action when May made it for her. And so by I admitting that, it's basically she's like, now I'm making it for you to show you that I love you, kind of thing, which on par for I.
I also feel like she's not just talking about the food though,
No.
because like when she tells her it's become her favorite, it's kind of like how one look kiss at May was all it took for I to be hooked, and she has become her favorite person.
Uh
So
huh.
it's just I feel like this is just talking about May in general.
Oh, everything I is saying is super layered because to I, this is the last time she's going to be with May in her brain.
Mhm.
So that's why she's like, this will always be my favorite. Always. She's gonna like, what are you gonna do after this? I just go home and sadly make these omelets and cry. It's probably what you're gonna do. Let's be honest.
I feel like May can sense that too.
Oh yes, because after hearing this, like, it's my favorite and always will be. May gets really serious. Like the happiness drains from her face and she stops eating, puts the utensils down so she can grab I's hands with both of hers. Like it feels like desperate behavior. And then she's like, listen, you came over here to tell me something. Like, what did you want to talk about? Like, let's actually talk. But I just says, oh no, I literally just came here to give you the omelet and tell you how much I love it. Girl.
I can't believe this bitch. Uh,
Which one?
she says there's nothing else to talk about.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
Well, because
we won't even recount everything that there's to talk about.
I's about to sacrifice herself, so that's why she's not saying anything. It doesn't excuse May. I's gonna sacrifice herself for Oom. Which again makes
Yeah.
that cut with Kosol being like, the truth will set us free. I so fucked up because she doesn't do it. Okay. So, like us, May doesn't believe that this is the reason I's here. She's like, bitch, don't we have other shit to talk about? But I's like,
Yeah.
don't worry, there's nothing because tomorrow's going to be a better day, May. She's like, I'm going to make sure you are happy like you once were. Like, I promise. Like, everything's going to be beautiful like it used to be. Which is so
And, like,
ominous sounding.
you can tell that May is disappointed by this too because,
Oh,
like
shit.
us, she thought that I was actually going to come clean.
Yes.
And then hopefully she could. I don't know. Like, if I were to say, like, what she knew, like, like, the truth, would May even say her truth as well, or would she just let I have the
Oh my
moment?
god, I don't even want to think about May being a elusive monster about that when you could just you know what I mean? Like who
Because I
knows?
feel like in her brain, she'd be like, "This is I's moment. I'll let her have it. I'll tell her some other time."
I
And
hate
then
that
she
you're
just
right.
keeps making excuses.
I hate that you're right. You're probably right. I would like to think honestly, who knows? Because Chow wrote this, but I would like to think that May is so desperate right now that if I were to even hint her name is Ioun, you know what I mean? That May would just jump on it, be like, "Thank God, yes, no, yes, no, who." You know what I mean?
But
I
I
think
feel
she
like
would jump
that's
on it at this stage.
too.
She seems desperate, but
I
she's
don't
not
know.
desperate enough to bring it up herself, though.
Yeah, like if she was truly desperate, she would just blurt out everything.
Correct. Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
not
That's
who
what I
she
mean.
is.
Like, yeah, agreed. So I don't know.
Does she really care enough? She does care.
She does
But
care. Is she so committed to this bit that she can't let it go?
what means more, her relationship with I or having the secret?
Yeah, exactly. I know what Ton would say. He'd be like, just fucking tell her.
I'm sick of dealing with this
I
shit.
know. And put him out of his misery. Okay, anyway, after I delivers this really cryptic kind of response of you'll be as happy as you were a long time ago, May. And then cuts to May, who's literally staring intently at I's face, like watching I's reaction to this statement. And if you watch May, she's like squirming in her chair because she's like, what the fuck does that mean, I? What the fuck? Welcome to the club, May, of not knowing what the fuck your girlfriend is saying when they're saying cryptic shit because I has been in that position the whole time she's known you. And how does it feel being on the receiving end of that? It's not great, is it? I see you squirming.
Well, I mean, this is her version of I just leaving her to
Oh yes.
figure stuff out. So, like, she has been on the receiving end
That's a true statement.
of
This is
this.
an advanced version of I going to her car for a few days,
Yes.
only I's intending to go look for shit in her car forever. That's this whole scene.
But May is getting too good at figuring out when I is gonna disappear. So now
Yes,
it's like verbally, you have to read
it's
into
true.
things.
She's like, I's gonna
Yeah.
bolt. I can feel it. Okay, but here's the deal though. So like I think this little moment's important because like internally May is losing her shit during this conversation. Hence all the squirming and her face is twitching where she's like something's wrong, but she doesn't say shit. But she can't let I knows that there is a humongous unspoken truth between them. So instead,
So many, not
I
just
know.
one.
I listen. So instead, May does her best to pretend that everything is fine. She's like the meme of the dog sipping coffee and the house is on fire, and is
Mhm.
like, "This is fine." That's May in this scene, okay? And like to Ai's credit, after Ai says this cryptic shit, where we know that Ai's like, "You're gonna get the actual Oom back," and it's like we never met. That's what Ai is saying in the scene. To Ai's credit, she does an amazing job at schooling her features and her facial expressions, and she keeps her voice very free of any emotions, like negative ones, when she's delivering this cryptic line. Because I's a bad spy. We all know that. But she doesn't. She to her in her view, May can't see her, so she does a good job of like giving nothing away with visual. That's why May's like staring at her. She's like, "Eye's gonna break," and she'll like do something so I can understand what she's doing. But Eye doesn't do that in the scene. And I think that's the other reason that May's squirming. She's like, "This is weird." Eye's not like Eye's emotions aren't all over her face right now. What the fuck is happening? So then May's like, "Yeah, everything's great. Yep. She's like, I guess everything's fine. And I was like, awesome. I'm really glad we had this moment together, May. It's so great. So May's like, yeah, I trust you. And I was like, great. Now trust me enough to just feed you. So then I is really super cute here because again, she thinks that May is blind. So I like that when she goes to feed May, and she like brings the spoon to May's mouth. She makes sounds. She's like, ah, to let May know that she's given her the food because May can't see the spoon coming at her face. So I thought that was really
That's good.
cute. She did.
It's like, here comes the plane.
Yeah, that's literally what she's doing. Because you know how I doesn't tell May anything, but like here she like gives her like a audio clue that like the food's coming. I thought that was
Surprised she
really
doesn't
cute.
shove it in her mouth.
That's what I mean. Like usually I would just do that. So it's cute that she's like, ah. Oh, that was really cute. And then, okay, so then this scene is actually cute because we need cuteness in this episode. And so I love how happy May is with the food. Because like I's feeding her, which is really sweet and intimate. And I love that she's even like, oh, this is even better than how I make it. And like May's just like bouncing around and being super happy. And it's really sweet, honestly, just like this. Even though there's some fucked up shit happening in this scene.
I mean, I is also staring at May like she's really trying to take in all of her because she
Uh-huh.
knows that
Yep.
she's not going to be with her.
Yep. 100%. And what I do like in the scene is that, yeah, we all know Ai is preparing herself to fall on the proverbial sword and sacrifice herself. But like, I love that May does manage to make Ai laugh when she starts meowing. Like, I actually laugh because this is kind of funny and ridiculous. Like, I like that it breaks Ai out of like her negative thoughts right now. Because I think that's important because after May does that, we see this shift in Ai a little bit. Because I think that like laughter helps ground Ai to the, and it made her more present in this moment with May instead of lost in like what tomorrow's gonna be like. She's like, let me just be with May. And that's when she starts like staring a lot more intently at May and like trying to memorize most of her face and like memorize the moment. And I even like reaches out and like caresses May's face like while she still can. So I thought that the meow thing I think is really important to I and helped I in the scene. But as you can see, like May can see that I is not fully with her in this moment. Like something is bothering I, and I is not telling her what the fuck it is.
Okay, that moment where May is like smiling at her when I looks away, she's concerned, and then as soon as I turns back, she's happy again. Like to me, like the deception's killing me.
I know. It's
The way that she's
killing
pretending
me.
to be happy,
And
and
but I must admit, May still believes. Still believes.
like the deception is ridiculous in this. I mean, this deception is in every scene, but
I know.
like then you have I who's keeping so much from May as well. But like in the situation, if May didn't know I was I, then May would be unaware right now that someone she cares about got into an accident, was in a coma, and is now awake.
Yeah.
But, like, did she care about her in the grand scheme of things? Because her first thought was about herself and I when she learned that was awake.
No, seriously, like, what that's my question. What did you expect? Did you expect to never bring up the fact that she was in a car accident and was in a coma with May ever again? Like let's say never got her memories back for some reason. Let's say that was permanent. Like the TBI, the traumatic brain injury was it permanently altered her memories and she never got them back. That happens. What if that happened? Would you expect to just never bring up the fact that she was in a car accident with her girlfriend?
Um, so, like,
So then the
uh,
expectation is that lies to May forever. You know what I mean?
yeah,
What?
yeah, basically. Yeah, so,
Right.
like, okay, hold on, no, the whole thing, though, and we'll talk about it later, is technically, I blames Meemaw for all of this. Like, this is all Meemaw's idea.
Yeah, this is Meemaw's idea, actually. That comes out.
And but, like, the fact that she stepped in for her.
Mhm.
And so now
This got even more
I don't
messy.
even know where my brain's going right now because there's just so much shit going on.
I know.
What were we even talking about?
Basically, brings up a lot of feelings because once enters
Oh,
the
okay,
scene,
so
everything goes off the rails and
yeah.
it's great.
So technically, May would never have known about this accident, and
Yeah,
Oom's not allowed to show up. I mean, they do prep her pretty well,
but
but, like,
still.
who's to say, like, in 10 years, she doesn't, like, randomly bring it up?
Or like Jan's like, "Hey, how are you doing? Don't have to take you to physical therapy." You know what I mean? Like, how does it?
I don't understand. Why are we not telling May? Just
Right.
because
We're
even
just
though I know we're getting ahead of
we're
ourselves right now, but,
adding
like,
more
even if
deception.
she was stressed, like, let me the whole okay, really the basis of the show is let people make their own damn decisions by giving them the information to do so.
And also, adults at funerals don't say shit in front of kids about their dead parents.
It all comes back to those 2,
Those
doesn't it?
motherfuckers at the funeral ruined everything. Don't be a dick. The series.
Those bitches.
Anyway, okay. All right, we got to get to before we can rant. Okay, all the ranting
I
revolves
know.
around because that's when everything gets good. Okay, so anyway, so after that, after the omelet feeding, I and May head back up to May's room, where May has a box that's wrapped with this pretty bow, and she looks super excited. And she insists that I doesn't spoil the surprise. So May insists that I comes into the room with her eyes closed, and then we get this amazing scene of I being the blind one and like trying to feel her way from the entrance to the bed, which
May is
this
enjoying this a little too much.
absolutely, because May can fucking see what I is doing.
Mhm.
She's like, "Damn, did I look like this?" Anyway,
She's like, "Finally, it's not me."
so it's really funny. So yeah, May is enjoying this a little bit too much. And once I gets closer to the bed, May says she really didn't have to surprise her with anything because she's like, "Oh, May, you didn't have to surprise me because like I was planning on giving her a giant surprise tomorrow that she's not ready for." But May insists that a heart so in love can't be stopped by anything, which, like, coming from May is either romantic or ominous.
That's true.
I know. Well, you're like, oh, but also means May will stop at nothing to get what she wants. Okay. But this is another one of those moments that is really sweet because this actually makes I smile. And like the entire these two scenes, like I's smile does not reach her eyes. And this is one of the rare instances where it does. Because I think that despite what she's doing here, I think I can't help herself but like savor every ounce of like happiness that she gets out of this interaction, like the stuff that's meant for her. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, and on the flip side, I think it's worth noting in this scene that when I has her eyes closed, and when she's entering the scene, and like before this surprise reveal happens, May checks multiple times with I that her eyes are actually closed. And the reason I think she does this is not so just so she can watch I fumble into the room as entertainment. I think that May is trying to like I think May feels like something's off, and she's if you watch her in the scene when I's eyes are closed and they're talking, May is like very intently watching I and like looking at her, almost like they're having a conversation where they're looking at each other, which we could be if we were not being deceitful. But anyway, and it's almost like this normal flirty conversation because I's like kind of being herself in the scene. She's not being like melancholy. She's like laughing and actually smiling and stuff. And I think this is important to note that has been watching I this whole time because if you think about it, for the majority of the time that they've been together, like reunited, May hasn't been able to like visually see I, which is obvious, but sh when she starts getting her sight back, she does have this short window of time where she can take note of eyes like posture, mannerisms, the way she dresses. Because the first time they met, she was in a school uniform, didn't belong to her. So like now she's like had this short window where she's actually seeing I and seeing the way I behaves and like what she looks like and things like that, even though identical twin. But I think it's important because like May had an opportunity here really to pick up on differences between I and that I think come into play later when she sees and like immediately knows it's not I. And it's because she's been able to watch I actually and pick up
Mhm.
like because if you notice, I has different posture. I definitely dresses differently. I like does physically do things that differentiate herself from because that's good acting on Namtan's part. Okay. that's Tatiana Maslany's 101 is you have to make
Yes.
sure your identical characters have physical the way they hold themselves and walk and do all kinds of things are different so you know who their actor is playing. But I think that's worth noting because like I think May uses that to advantage in like the when shows up because like immediately she's like that's not I like anyway.
Yeah. No, that's a good point because she doesn't say anything yet, and she can already tell.
That's what I mean. And like I will get to that scene because it's like, yeah, the slippers, but like May doesn't look at the slippers. She looks at she looks up and is
Mhm.
like, that's not I. Like,
The slippers were for the viewers.
mhm.
We'll talk about
The
it.
slippers are the nail in the coffin because like May eventually sees them, but it's like
Yeah.
immediately she's like, that's not I. I would never take the time to style her hair like that. I
Well, I
never
mean, it's
styled
not just
her.
that we will get there.
That's
I
what I
I got
mean.
I
It's
got
like
some stuff.
May is like could be like that is definitely not I. Like they're identical twins, but like there's differences that you could pick on pretty quickly, right? And I think scenes like this are important to just remember. May can see well enough to do that. Just I May anyway.
But not good enough to tell her that she has her
You
eyesight.
know, it's just it will never make sense because we must have drama scenes, Caitlin. That's why.
This is a must-have drama show.
It literally. Anyway, so this like flirting continues until I's like, "Can I please open my eyes now?" And that kind of breaks the spell for May. And if you watch, she has to go away from looking at I and like smiling and like flirting with her in a normal way to like committing back to the bit where she has to like look off and pretend to be blind because it's just a reset and it takes her a little bit to reset because like in the last scene that we were just watching where they're doing the omelet thing and where she's like staring at I for 2 seconds and then immediately has to like go back to like smiling and pretending like she can't see everything's going to hell. Here I has her eyes closed, so May has time to be like, oh man, I really don't want to stop looking at you but I have to because it's like I think that on some level, this bitch is tired of this deception as much as the shit we give her for this. I think it does get to May, and I think it just makes it all the more frustrating. She won't just confess the truth because it's clearly getting to her. Like it is. All right, and then I opens her eyes, and then May shows her what she got. And inside this giant box is a couple's gift. I have to wait for it to actually show up. And when she mentions that it's a couple's gifts, that's when Ai's face changes from happy to heartbroken. And she says couples, like question mark. Because
Props to May for not reacting to that.
ooh, I know. Because, like, again, it's like one of those weird cryptic things. Like, but May does react, though, because this bitch is so concerned. She risks dropping the bit long enough to look at Ai's face. Like, she looks at her. She's like, oh shit, what? What was that? Like,
But, like, not asking her about like, she literally
yes!
could not be like, "Why are you
What do
upset?"
you mean? Yeah. You can't just call her by her name and just end this? No, we cannot. We must not do it
You know,
yet.
I feel like it would've been hilarious if she'd be like, "Hey, could you hand me that eye?" And then just see if she catches it onto it or not.
That'd be amazing. And sadly, we'll never get that scene. All right. Okay, so then I opens the box, and inside she finds two pairs of really cute space themed slippers. And May is so excited about this gift. She even tells I she picked them out herself. What a fucking nerd, first of all. But but I seem so genuinely happy. Like when she's holding the slippers, that's like the biggest smile, like genuine one we've seen from her this whole day. And it's cute that May gets to watch I inspect the slippers. But then I's brain starts working and she realizes that
Mhm.
May said she handpicked them. And then and
Yep.
May's like, yes, no, I literally handpicked them because I could feel the patterns with my hands.
I feel like she overcorrects herself here, like, in the way that she picks them up and traces this because like, you see her face, like, fully go from, like, happy to be like, "Oh, I can't see," and, like, her face is more stoic and, like, showing how she traces it with her hand,
She
and I
handpicked them.
feel like this is also out of character for I to even question this because she knows May can feel stuff and that's how she navigates, like, that's why she bought the locket for May where May could touch to figure out each element.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's May I wouldn't question how she picked this out.
Unless the translation was a little bit different and she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"I picked you did what? You saw them and couldn't say no?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe the translation's slightly off, but yeah, you're right. I suddenly questioning things like, "What?" Okay, but my favorite part is yes, May goes overboard with her demonstration of feeling the patterns, but I love that May's eye starts doing it. Like, eye is so
Yeah.
cute. I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can feel the
She
stars,
also
etc."
wants to feel the way that how May picked him out for her.
It's so
She wants to be
cute.
like, "Oh, this is what she did."
It just eye is so
That's
precious, I
not what she
swear.
did though.
It's not what she did.
But you don't know that.
But May's like, duh, of course that's what he did. There's no other possible explanation for how I picked these out.
What would it I would have laughed if it was something that did not have, like, an actual design on it, and it was just,
Yes.
like, colors.
That'd be so funny.
It was just, like,
Watching May scramble.
dyed on it and not, like, embroidered or something.
My God. Yeah, no, it May got saved by the fact that these were embroidered. That would be really funny if they weren't. She had to like somehow spin this shit.
And that would make more sense for why I was tracing them with her
Right,
hand,
she's
be
like,
like,
what?
"How did
Yeah,
you feel
I
this?"
don't quite understand, but she's blind. Maybe I can't question her. I don't know.
Be like, "Okay, I love her, I trust her."
You
Really don't
shouldn't,
trust her.
but
Don't trust her, but
you
whatever.
shouldn't. I.
Your life.
Oh my God. Okay, but then May says she chose these slippers because they remind her of I. And basically, she wants I to orbit close to her like a star, essentially. And I do like this dialogue, to be honest, because again, it brings back the novel, like when like Chow really harps on this concept of like orbiting and people orbiting each other. So I like this dialogue. That it's a callback to the novel. And as we saw again with the awesome flashback with picking up getting picked up by May with I just being there. Like I has been haphazardly orbiting May for a very long time. But here, like, and it's like she keeps coming into May's orbit at random. But here is May saying, like, I want you to redirect the chaos and like stay close to me, like on purpose this time, instead of like coming back and then going out and coming back, going out kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I thinks that's a lovely thought. Like she's like, that would be nice if we could do that, wouldn't it? And then she thanks May for the gift. And in return, May thinks that she should be fairly compensated for this gift that no one asked for with her own reward. And she will settle for nothing less than I wearing these slippers for the rest of her lives. Because anytime these two do product placement, they must talk about marriage. Always.
May's doing everything to use these slippers as a way to lock I into not running away from her just because Oom's awake.
Especially because you can't run well in slippers. So that makes sense.
True. But also, May, you were just given an omelet.
Seriously, I literally came over with
What more? You both exchanged gifts. It was
yeah,
Christmas.
it's true. One was a homemade gift.
Just saying.
Okay, so then May brings up marriage. And then I has no response to this because there's no future for them as far as she's concerned. And so she looks away and then starts caressing the shoes. And I caressing these shoes is going to be like the shoes are going to be a substitute for May going forward for
Mhm.
I, where she's going to pour all of her love into the shoes because she doesn't have May. So it starts here.
It never ends.
Fucking lesbians. Okay. And then they proceed to be really gay and take couples slippers photos with their legs in the air, which is really cute. But May is not a gym girly, and immediately she's like, damn, that was worse than being at the gym that I don't go to. My thighs hurt. And so I notices and offers to give her a leg massage, which May interprets as sex for some reason. And by interprets, I mean May is like, oh man, I wish this was sex, and that's what my reward was actually gonna be. And like basically tells I that, and I's like, you little wicked thing, and then starts tickle fighting her, like any rational adult would do. And it's nice to have these moments of I being her little goofy self and calling May a wicked thing before the pain starts all over again. So I'm happy this scene is here.
Yeah.
So after the tickling stops, May looks at I in her eyes and then asks, will I still be this happy tomorrow? Because it both of us can be ominous. It's not just you.
But also, May asking this is so real because I has a way of doing 180s when they are in a good place. Like that,
Absolutely.
you really cannot predict what will happen with her.
Uh-huh.
And also, I still doesn't want to add to the lies she is telling May, which is why she hesitates. But again, she still doesn't respond right away. And that's concerning. Just
Everything
saying.
about this is concerning. It's been
This
concerning.
whole show is
This whole
concerning.
show is concerning. It's been concerning since the morning after the sexcapades in the van. It's been for May. She's like, I started crying quietly and has not been the same since. Okay, and to your point, it does take I a while to respond because the deal is like at the end of the day, I just wants May to be happy, which is basically what she tells May. But also, like, I wants to be happy, and knowing that when she's out of the picture, that Oom's gonna be happy to have May back. Like that's gonna be a good thing for at this particular stage of where is at. And in I's brain, if May is happy with again, I, on some level, will be happy knowing that May is happy. But I think that part of I will be so devastated by that. Like, if May, let's say that they pull this twin switcheroo off and May is genuinely happy with I think that would, like, I would be like, "Great, the people I love are happy, but also she's not happy with me." And, like, that would devastate I also, you know what I mean? Because very selfishly, she wants to be the one who makes May happy, right? And not have it be But what happens when brings May over to meet the family? Like, what happens in the future, guys? We're not thinking
No,
past
Will
tomorrow.
never do that.
Is
She'll never do that. Family does not exist.
Is just not allowed? Oom's not allowed to talk. So Oom's gonna have this list of things she's not allowed to talk about. It's like, you can never mention the car
It's
accident.
on her phone.
Yeah,
It's just like she goes through it every night so
no,
she doesn't forget.
you're never allowed to mention the car accident. Also, you don't have a twin sister. Your sister's paying now. And so they bring paying over anytime that there's like a
Her
family
family
event.
get
That's your
together.
sister. So then paying is lying. And it's just like this just again, it's like, oh, the tangled webs we weave. Like with one lie, it escalates into 20 lies that we have to keep juggling to maintain the original lie. And it's like, guys,
And then
like,
Jan comes with Pang because Jan's dating Pang,
yeah, so like Oom's
and
sister Pang has a girlfriend, Jan.
who she's best friends with.
That's my best friend. That could have been a sitcom, honestly. But
Yeah.
anyway, this is all absurd. All I have to say is that this is ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, but then I gives her this sappy speech where she's like, "Listen, I just want you to be happy, not just tomorrow, but like forever and ever. Okay, that's all I want. I just want you to be happy." But then May clarifies that, like, she's like, "Listen, girl, my happiness is only possible when you and me are together, and we're together forever." Okay, when May says this, that's when I starts like almost bawling. Okay, because that is literally how I feels, which and she whispers, she's like, "I wish we could be like that too." And it's so heartbreaking because like I knows that after she does do the sacrifice for that she won't truly be happy after this because like the part of herself that loves May is going to be like really for herself is going to be very heartbroken. And I think that she does believe that if May never knew that she existed at all, then like she can go on believing that like, oh, this has just been a wild ride with who wanted to break up with me. Like, you know what I mean? It's so sad from I's point of view because she's like, again, anytime I want something, everything goes to hell. So she's like, it's probably I'm cursed. It's probably for the best that I walk away from you anyway. But like, this situation is insane. And to May's credit, like again, she can see that I's on the verge of crying and like doesn't react to it.
She's
And
still
this scene
insane.
basically ends with I like expressing her feelings like physically by like kissing May and then snuggling close to her and like basically holding on to May. Because in her brain, this is the last time she's going to get to do this. And we all know she's a touch starved person who likes physical affection. And so she puts her head next to May's, and when May closes her eyes, that's when I starts crying. Like that's when she lets the tears fall when May can't see her. And
But
I
who's
does
to
what
say
and
oh,
I does what
wait,
she
never
always does,
mind.
which is when she cries alone in silence.
I was about to say, what happens when May opens her eyes, and then I realized I doesn't know
I
that
doesn't
she
think
can
she can
see.
see.
Yeah. Yeah, never mind.
But May can see, and if only May is like, "Why are you crying, I?" Oh, what if she did say that and then eyes like would start backtracking and be like, wait, how did you know I was crying? And May's like, I can smell the salt. And, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, no. Tears have their own, it's like petrichor. They have their own distinct aroma. And I
They
know.
also have a frequency of how they fall.
Yeah, I heard it roll down your cheek. I can sense the vibrations. I would believe literally anything that comes out of her mouth.
She would, because why would you not trust the person you love? They both are going to prove that you should not trust anything that they say or
I know. This show
do.
proves you should never trust the people you love either. Everybody's
Trust
lying to
no one.
everybody.
That's what Thai Girl Love has taught
No,
us.
seriously, like literally everybody lies to everyone in the show. Like everybody. Like Jan lies to Pang. Pang lies to Officer Hottie. Everybody lies to Everybody lies to I. Meemaw lies to both twins separately. Like everybody's lying to everybody in this fucking show. Because human beings lie. It's just part of humanity. So like you really can't be like, yeah, this is a crazy scenario, honestly, but like humans lie all the fucking time. So like it's not really surprising, honestly. Anyway, we then cut on over to 3 a.m. where I is waking up in the middle of the fucking night, getting ready to leave May for what she thinks is the very last time. And then because she thinks it's the last time, she leans in to kiss May, like one last kiss, but then stops herself. And I think it's one of those things where like I's like, if she does it, she won't have the courage to actually leave. And also if May wakes up and starts talking to her, then she will not be able to go through with it. So I has this like look on her face, almost like she's telling herself mentally, like she's May's Oom's, she's not yours, you need to let her go. And that's exactly
This
what she
hurts.
does. Hmm?
This hurts. This
Y-
part hurts.
yes, this part fucking hurts. It's ridiculous. Because, like, again, I is making the sacrifice for her sister's well being. That's actually why she's doing this. Because she's like, Oom is not in a place where she can handle this right now. So, like, that's really why she's doing it. But I love that I doesn't kiss May, but she does the last caretaking thing she can do, which is she like tucks May in a little bit more and like leaves her in a more comfortable position than when she was there. And as she's getting out of the bed, you can see like her taking a bunch of deep breaths, like shaky breaths, because like this is very painful for her to do. Ugh, poor Ayun. And then she puts the slippers on and looks at May for as long as she possibly dares before she leaves. Just like Batman.
For as long as we can afford to have in the show.
Yes, she has to kill the minutes.
She takes the slippers, so there is hope.
Is there?
Nah, I don't know. Who knows with these people? They lie.
You never fucking know.
But what we do know is that it's time for shout outs for our Chaos crew over on Patreon.
Woo!
Our Chaos crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Amix Monzone _ multi, Ariel W, Danny L, Erica LC, Here for It, Jill L, Jasmine O, Cassie M, Kelsey S, Leona, Michelle G, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Nancy D, National _ Bicon, Pooja
Woo!
S, Regina B, and Worshipachin.
Woo!
Woo! We have reached the most supporters on this tier ever so far.
Damn.
So thank you.
Guys are killing it.
And our featured Big A supporter members for this episode are Nina, Elaine A, and Michaela B. Thank you
Yay.
so much for all of your
Thank
support.
you.
We truly appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who's watching and listening to this episode, because just by doing that, you are also supporting us. Seriously, we still need the numbers on every platform. That helps us
It sure
more
does.
than you know. Yeah. So even if you're on Patreon, come check it out on the other platforms. Just let it play. Anyway, we really appreciate you, whatever platform you're able to support us on. If you can't join Patreon, that is totally fine. Not everyone's able to, and we understand that. We don't appreciate you any less. If you do want to come connect with us more, come join the Discord where it's free to join. You can talk to us and other queer media lovers about Pluto, Thai Girl Love, queer media in general. there's even place for hobbies, so, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like, there's so many different things to talk about, and you'll make some great friends who love the same things as you, so check it out.
You should. Meet your people. Have fun.
Okay, so then we go to I in her room, and I is thinking about everything and wondering how the hell she got to this moment in her life. I assume. How she can be with May, what is going well, she can't be with May. She's like,
I's thoughts are spiraling into a deep despair immediately.
yes, it's a whole thing. How like basically what is her life? When there's a knock on her door.
Wait, before we get to the knock at the door, I just want to say that I think it's really interesting that this scene starts with I at her desk because we've gotten this shot before in the series where some shit goes down with May and then I is at her desk and usually she's journaling, which I don't see her journal out right now. Okay? And usually
Mm,
like it's her she's like working through her feelings about May. So first of all the journal's missing and I think that's why Meemaw's about to enter the scene because instead of the journal, she actually has the conversation with a real human. So that's different.
yeah, it's
And
also why she's spiraling because she can't get it out.
yes, but also like when we've had this scene before of her at the desk journaling, usually when she was journaling, it was about whether she should tell the truth or not. Right. And usually she comes to the
Mhm.
conclusion that I need to come clean. But like at this point, she's made up her mind that that's not an option anymore, which comes out very much in the dialogue here later in the scene. But so I think it's interesting that here we are again with I at the desk, distraught about May. She still has not told May the truth. But this time, like, I look so lifeless and defeated. Like, look at her. Like, this is probably one of the lowest lows for I that we've seen in a really long time. Like, particularly when she's at this desk, which is like a source of like, this is where she writes her novel, right? This is her like creative space. And like, it's just emo right now. It's like really, really sad and just emo I at the desk, and I just feel so bad for her. But
She's not okay.
she's not okay. And to your point, like what's different about this scene too is that like I is not alone in the scene with her thoughts. Like she now has like Meemaw who's about to enter the scene and knows the truth of her situation. Like where like the journal knows the truth, but like now there's a person who knows and like actually empathizes with her. So
Someone
like
she can lead on.
yeah, so it's kind of like they're kind of like parallel scenes is why I'm bringing it up, but like I's situation's a little bit different now because like we went on this journey with I where she like repaired her relationship with Mima a lot more to where she now has like her grandmother like supporting her in real time when she needs it versus just I like word vomiting it into a journal. So I thought that was worth bringing up because it's different.
Yeah, it's definitely. Okay, so then Meemaw comes in and she's very concerned about I, obviously.
Yes.
And I tries to deflect in her usual way by making a joke to Meemaw saying, falling asleep gets harder when you're old, huh? Should I tell you a ghost story?
What a
But
joke.
Meemaw's having none of it.
No.
And she knows her granddaughter isn't doing well right now. And Meemaw's like, I've raised you forever. And asks her, do you think I don't know how you feel? And I doesn't even respond because Meemaw's right. And she doesn't know what to say. I mean, she doesn't even know what to do.
No.
And then Meemaw apologizes for telling I to not tell about her relationship with May. But she does stand by her request because she tells I that needs May and asks her to wait until she remembers everything, and then Meemaw will help I tell about it.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, go.
this is a big ask though, because there's no guarantee that gonna remember anything.
First of all that, yes. No, there isn't.
Yeah. What are you
but
gonna say?
but also like I love that first of all, I love that Mima apologizes to I because to your point, like Mima sees how much the sacrifice hurts I because I is sacrificing her happiness for basically. And I like that Meemaw apologizes for putting I in that position and asking her to do that when clearly she's not, she's hurting like majorly right now. Like she's bawling her eyes out at her desk. And I like that Meemaw offers to be like, I will fix it, help you fix this. I will be the one who will talk to later and like talk to May. Just needs to be in a better mental state to process this. Like I'm just asking you to wait. That's what I'm asking. But like clearly they're not on the same page. Like to your point, like who knows if that will ever happen? And I think that's where I's brain is. She's like, this is never. It's just who are we kidding here, Meemaw? Like that's basically I in the scene. But I like that Meemaw is like trying to like help I and be like, I didn't ask you to do this so you'd be unhappy. I need to protect your sister and I needed your help, but I'll help you fix it so you can get what you want. Like I like that Meemaw
Yeah.
offered at all.
Yeah, and there's also more communication to the fact, like, not I'm not just telling you to do something because I'm
Yes.
telling you to.
Right, it's not like I'm the head of the family, do what I say. That's not at all what was happening here. Like yeah, that's a really good point. Mima's like, I respect you and your happiness, and this is temporary. I will help, I will be the one that fixes it when we're ready, when Oom's ready, kind of thing. I
Mhm.
appreciate that. It's almost like me that like how far their relationship has come to get to
It
this.
really
You
it's
know?
this part of the episode really shows how much their relationship has grown.
Yes.
It is night and day, and I'll bring that up
Yes.
later.
Oh my god. No, seriously. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I then says that she can't go back to May anymore, and she can never tell her the truth. Okay. Um, and when Meemaw questions why, we get a flashback. But also, you can never tell her the truth. You could, you just don't want to. Anyway, flashback to 2023 after the court's verdict in Ben's trial. I is rushing to get to an exam when Kosol calls her and tells her that Ben's mom passed away.
So I
Yeah.
definitely didn't pass this test because, like, hearing that right before you're going into a test,
Oh my
fuck,
gosh.
you know what I
No,
mean?
what if hold on, what if sorry, don't know why I went here, but what if hearing like devastating news is what actually makes her excel and she got like ace this test and like
What?
I don't know.
No, she
That's
probably failed this test because, like, you can't hear your surrogate mother is dead and then expect to perform well in a test. That's crazy. Poor
she
I.
didn't even show up to the test. She left right
Oh,
after
listen,
that.
and then she fails it. And so I has no, again, poor I can never win. I always loses in this show.
She does.
Chow, you really, and the GMFTV writers really abused your protagonist.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Hashtag let I be happy. Free I from the sadness.
We have a lot of those hashtags. Hashtag why can't we be happy?
Hashtag tell the truth.
Hashtag the truth will set you free.
What are your hashtags for Pluto the series? Not just Pluto the series. Leave them in the comments, please. Let's start a trend. White Cat, I'm counting on you.
Yes, this is a challenge especially for
This is
you.
for White Cat
I
specifically.
cannot wait.
I can't wait. Take your time.
Oh, yes, we will wait.
But wait.
I'm laughing already.
I know.
Anyway,
I know. I can't wait.
we then jump forward to when the friend group forgot Ben existed because he was in a wheelchair, and when
Sorry,
I
that was one
asked,
of the funniest hot takes you've ever had. It's so true.
still has yet to be debunked.
Hot take. I ignores people in wheelchair. You're not wrong. It happens
And when
multiple
someone's
times.
with I, they ignore them too.
You're not wrong. Anyway, sorry, I forgot how funny that was.
You're welcome. Okay, so I asked who the lawyer of Batman was and said she will get payback. Okay, so we just had to relive that again.
Of course.
So back to I and Meemaw. I tells Meemaw that she's the reason May is blind because if she hadn't wanted to know who the attorney was and wanted payback, Kosol wouldn't have done what he did.
Okay, hang on
And
though. Hang on. Cause like Wait, hold on. Sorry. So we get this flashback, right, to remind us that I still thinks that she's the person personally responsible for May's blindness. Okay, why the fuck did we get the flashback with Kosol and I when Kosol's like, May, tell the truth? Because, like, clearly I did not listen to that advice at all, and she was still fixated on the earlier part of that conversation when Kusul was like, "You're the one that told me to do it." Right? Why the fuck did we
Yeah.
get that flashback? Like, she obviously did not take that to heart, process it, nothing. She was just like, "It was my fault." Like, was she listening to him when he was giving her that advice? Probably not, because, like,
No, because Kosol, you need to tell her the truth.
also bad.
I
Like, no
Okay,
one
so
tells
to
her.
be fair, a tiny little bit. No, we'll get there. We'll talk about that in a
Okay, fine.
second. Okay. All right. So, like, Kosol wouldn't have done what he did. And at this, Meemaw immediately stands up and tells her that she didn't want this to happen. Like, it's not that she asked for May to be blind, but I is adamant that she did it and she helped Kosol hurt May. Like, this is all her fault, even though she did not physically blind May.
Or tell him to blind May.
Yeah, she did not say that. But we then get a flashback to I at Kasol's shop. And when I shows up, she sees that Kasol is getting ready to leave and he packs a baseball bat. But she doesn't say or do anything. She just stays in the shadows and waits until he is gone. And like Theora brings up, this was inaction on her part, which is action.
That's true.
And this was her way of approving what Kasol was about to do.
Which she didn't know what he was gonna do. All you can do is infer things. She could have just been going to like smash her windshield. You know what I mean?
He
She
also
didn't
could have
know.
been going to the batting cages.
Right? She didn't know he was gonna go blind her. Like, nobody knew he was. I don't. He didn't even know he was
He
gonna do that.
didn't know it. Yeah, he
That's what
didn't
I
know
mean.
that he was about to blind her.
Literally nobody knew. I get like
So why is that I's fault?
I think that she enabled it, and that
Yeah.
therefore she is the most responsible. Sure.
Yeah.
That's just, like, her thought distortion. Because like, again, to your point, her inaction and the fact that she covers for him in a second, like, she was like, "I could have stopped it, but I did it." But he was probably gonna do that anyway, to be honest. Like, I don't know that you could have talked him out of it. Because like, Kasol had his own anger, you know?
Yeah, and he can be very so he's very like one track mind.
Yeah, no, totally, exactly. Because like, again, at the hospital, the flashback we got where they're like, "How's Meemaw?" And then Kasol and Pang were raging, independent of I. So it's like Kasol's rage was already there. Like, I don't know. I feel like he would have done something anyway because he was so distraught over Ben and Ben's mom. Like, I don't think I really could have stopped him.
I'm surprised Pang wasn't involved.
That's actually surprises me. He was like, go picks up Pang.
But like she has nothing to do with this at this point. Like she's in none of these flashbacks.
I know Pang is like that friend that's only there when I's there. It's like she's not really
Yeah.
with anybody else. I feel like she's like there because she was into I, and then like kind of
She's
got
also
looped in.
like like aggressive in the moment and then like she's just like I'm with the team. I think like the
Right,
team.
go team, and then is never actually with the team unless they have a game. You know, that's Pang.
Yeah. Poor Pang. No, we just made Pang's character so much sadder.
Pang has too much lesbian drama to deal with to actually like help her friends.
I mean, at this point, the lesbian drama wasn't there. Well, no, there was.
No, there
Yeah,
was the
never mind.
Officer Hottie
She was
drama.
dealing with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She was dealing with a lot. Oh, and then there was still like the unresolved feelings. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah,
Mhm.
she was dealing with a whole lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, a whole lot going on there that it's easy to forget. Anyway, I will then explicitly approve of what Kasol is doing in a bit. Uh, but meanwhile, Kasol's boss comes out screaming like, "Where are you going? The customer's about to come." And I was like, "Just let him go. I'll take his shift." And the boss is like, "What? No." And I was like, "No, just let me do it. He probably has something that's going on, so let me do it." So I guess that's what's happening. And I'm assuming this is the owner. And he's just like,
Yeah.
"All right, fine. I'm leaving the garage to you." And like I then starts muttering that people like that deserve it. So she is verbally agreeing with Kosol's actions and wanting harm to come to May. Now, she never says blind her, but she
Correct.
does want harm to come to her.
She wants some bad karma to be redirected at the lawyer and not Batman.
Yes. I don't know why.
I don't know why, but that's what we really want in the scene. And you're right. I is co-signing on bad karma headed in the form of Kosol headed towards the lawyer that represented Batman.
She's just gonna forget that Pang and Kosol wanted to go after Batman. You should still really I can't believe I'm sorry, I just remembered why he's called Batman and
I know it's
it
so
just hit me
stupid.
all over again.
It is stupid and ridiculous.
Okay, but the angle that they use when I is saying people like that deserve it, the angle is very ominous feeling.
Ooh,
Like
it
it's a
is.
high angle, but eyes off centered. It makes me feel uneasy a little bit. And as audience members, we can't look into eyes and create that contact with her, like to know exactly how she's feeling. So it's just very elusive, dark. You have no idea what she's gonna do.
Now it'd been wild if we got this shot and then she showed up at the crime scene, but she has to be a mechanic right now. But yeah, no, it's very
Yeah,
like thriller angle. That's a good catch.
yeah.
They don't use this angle. I don't think they ever use this angle again in the show, but like good use of it.
Yeah, it's like not only the angle, it's the framing of
Yeah,
it
no,
as
no, that's what I
well. And
mean.
like you're cutting off her head.
She's off. She's
It's
not looking
very
directly at
odd.
you. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's rule of thirdsy, but like, yeah, no, it's good. It's a good use of all of that. Again, the compositions on this show, the way they like block and shoot, are very good. I like them a
They're
lot.
very intentional too. That's why I would
Correct.
love to talk to the
Well,
director, people who worked behind the scenes of this.
seriously.
Should have asked about everybody.
Yeah, we did get
Anyway.
we got a little turned down by some people, but it's okay.
Yeah. It's because of the language barrier, and that's
Which is
totally fine.
okay. We
We
get it.
gotta
We get
learn
it.
Thai
In all
before
our spare
time.
time.
Yeah. Anyway. We cut back to I and Meemaw, and I is sobbing because this guilt is way too much for her. And this is the first time that she's really saying all of this out loud, especially to a person she
Yes.
loves and respects, who
Yes.
has taught her right from wrong since she was little.
Oh man, that's so true. Because she did vocalize some of this to Kosol, but like he doesn't count the way Meemaw
No,
does. You're right. It's way heavier here. Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah. And I continues to exclaim that she did it and she is the reason May is blind. And I then reaches out to Meemaw for a hug. And this is like a huge improvement in the relationship since the very beginning of the show. And like this is where I think you see it night and day with the physical affection that they show each other.
That's so true.
And I continues to sob and say it's all her fault. And poor Meemaw has no idea what to do with the situation. All she knows is that she wants to comfort her granddaughter and make everything better.
Yeah.
So she's left to like do the only thing that she can do, which is try to comfort I by patting her head and then like rubbing her back. And the part that kills me is when I hugs Meemaw harder and says, I did it. I
Ugh,
freaking did it.
I know.
While she's just grabbing onto Meemaw like a lifeline. Like the way she says, I freaking did it. Like it was just like I can't even express how much hurt I'm that's brought to me because I did it. Poor girl.
Yeah. So like good performance in this scene because like you can really see how hurt I is by the fact that she hurt somebody she loves. Because again, as we've seen over and over again with I, like she would very much would rather she get hurt than have the people she loved get hurt. So then to learn that she was behind, you know, in an indirect way, in behind the blinding of like the person she loves the most, like that kills I because it's like the antithesis to who she is as a human being. You know what I mean? So I do wonder in the scenario where she's like, May can never know I exist. May can never know it was me. Like, I wonder if in her mind that's also like an acceptance of like her karma in a way, like the karmic outcome, because she was the one that like instigated going after the lawyer and facilitated Kosol going by inaction, number one, and then covering for him. So I wonder if that like that's part of the reason why she accepts the sacrifice because she's like, I did a bad thing and I hurt her, therefore like it's only like it makes sense that I am equally as hurt by like I can't have her kind of thing. Like and she's better off. Like I wonder if that's like she feels like that's part of her karma in a way for like this horrible
Yeah.
thing she did, you know. And that helps her accept it and like go through with like actually being the one to like say goodbye to May and then like facilitate Oom taking over, stepping back into her own life or whatever.
It's like processing one thing, but giving her another thing that she now has to process, but it makes sense
Yeah,
that she's like, "I need to hurt myself
right.
to be able to
Balance the
make
scales
amends."
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be part of her thought process.
If we just talk, but anyway,
We cannot.
we're here. We're here,
We are
so this is what
here.
we're doing.
We are queer. This is what we're doing.
Yep,
Let's get into the stuff.
yep. And we fade to black,
Woo!
and then to May's light outside.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so May wakes up alone, but she finds out that she can actually see everything clearly, like fully see everything.
Dun dun dun.
And she fully looks around the room, especially at this chandelier on her ceiling. Like, I can see light and in a good way, not the bad way. So she looks
Yes.
around the room and then to her hands, but then ultimately sees that there's no one there next to her to share in her excitement. And like, what really sucks about this is that if I just stayed the night,
Oh my god.
May probably would have told her right away here, and then hopefully that would have led into the bigger conversation that is needed because this bitch has been saying this whole
Listen.
time, when
Yes.
I can look eye in the eyes, then I will let her know that I can see. And then I would just assume they'd be like, I can see. And then she'd be like, "Oh my god, you can see. Wait a minute, did you just call me?" I just keep fan fictioning different things of her actually telling her because I just need it to happen.
Seriously, I would foam at the mouth for the opportunity to have I actually be in the room with her right now to see if May would put the money where her mouth is. You know what I mean? She's like,
Mhm.
John, I was waiting. I'm waiting to see clearly now because the rain's gone or whatever. And
Thank you.
like,
I
there's no
appreciate you saying that.
there's no obstacles in my way. Therefore, I can tell I I own. Or would she not do it? Like I would, we were robbed of that. It's not Oom's fault, but like Wood may have actually done it because like I don't trust
I
this bitch as far as
know.
I can throw her, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Honestly, I would
I
have
don't trust
loved to
her.
see. Yeah. I mean, you can't. She has
You
given us
can't.
no reason to trust her
No.
at
No.
all. I still don't trust her at the end.
I don't
I
trust
don't trust her.
anybody in this show.
I don't trust anyone. These shows
Honestly,
have given me so many trust issues, it's
you
ridiculous.
know, there's one person I trust in this show, and that's Officer Hottie, and that's probably why she gets Plutoed so hard. It's
Yeah.
because she's the only trustworthy person on this show.
True.
So she doesn't fit in with everybody else in their fuck shit.
Trust her because she did what was right at work. We still have no idea what was happening and, like,
No, and we
anything
never
about that
know because she
storyline,
gets Plutoed.
but yeah.
Yeah, I trust Officer Hottie. Also, I
That's
trust
true.
Oom, even though Oom had a side piece and did some weird shit. But like, she normally doesn't lie unless it's to men. And is that a crime? I don't know that it is.
I don't know. She could be questionable, but
I,
we don't know enough.
if I
We don't
had to
know enough.
rank, it's Officer Hottie number one, maybe Jan, then Oom. Mm,
Yeah, because
yeah.
Jan's not. You can tell she has a tell for when she lies, so she's not good at
Yeah,
it.
she's not good at it. And then also, Ping is fairly trustworthy. She was just lying to Officer Hottie because she didn't want to hurt her feelings.
And she ultimately was like
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
forward, and
Okay, so maybe Officer Hottie, Ping,
yeah,
Jan, then
Den
Oom.
Jan, yeah, and then everyone else is like no trustworthy. I mean, Meemaw.
No, Meemaw will lie to you for your own good. And so will I. So that's
Yeah,
why I'm like, they would straight
that's
up lie to
true.
you and be like, we're gonna lie forever for your own good. Like, whereas like you'll see Oom is not cool with the lying real fast.
Yes, that's
Yes.
true. You're right.
She was cool with lying
Okay.
to Paul because she didn't love him. And like, again, like
Yeah, but Paul knew that.
and Paul knew that's what I mean. Was Oom lying? Oom did not lie. Paul was just like, it's fine, I love you anyway. That's his fault for not loving himself enough to not
Okay,
marry her.
everybody out there, if you ever say the line, "I will I will love them enough for the both of us," that relationship is not worth it.
No, that's a huge go to a therapist immediately. Like something's wrong. That's a huge red flag. That is a one-sided relationship you're in. A really very one-sided one.
You should never have to love someone more than they love you, just to make it equal. Because that's never gonna be equal. Like, how do
No.
you think that's gonna work?
How is that gonna work? No, that's called delusion. That's not
That's
okay.
called fandom.
That's called that's called fandom. That's called parasocial relationships with celebrities.
It
You're
is.
not wrong, Caitlin. This episode is going off the rails many, many times. I still
Yeah,
stand by the
okay.
fact that May would try to baby trap I. I still think I'm surprised Chow didn't write it, to be honest. It doesn't have to make sense.
That would be a Chow storyline,
I
though.
know it wouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. It definitely would. Tell me that wouldn't fit into the show. It absolutely would. Could you imagine? Wait, could you imagine? I'm sorry, this tickles my fancy. Would you imagine if May blurted that out to try and trap I, and then had to explain it to Ton later? And he's like, "You did what?
He
What?"
no, Todd be like, "At least tell me it's not my baby, okay?"
She's like, "No, there's no
'Cause that
baby,
would
but
be really bad.
we can't let I know there is no baby, and so you gotta find me a baby, Ton." Like that's what it would just spiral out of control so
No,
fast.
she would be like, "Find me a donor and figure how to speed this process up."
Oh my god, like that would be so wild. I would fit into the story, honestly.
Now I'm just thinking of, like, actual ways they could go about this. No, they would she'd be like, "Find me an egg donor." That's, like, already there's an embryo. Okay,
No,
I've
no,
worked
no.
in
May
fertility
would want a
centers, so, like
surrogate. She's like, I'm not ruining this figure by having a baby, first
so
of
she would
all.
just okay, you know what? Actually, yeah, she could lie about the entire thing, and
No,
then she
she'd be in a
wears, like, a
pregnant
fake
suit, like
yeah,
yeah.
and then, like, I can never touch her, and then, like, she just reacts like she normally does now, and oh my god,
No, I would have
this
gone
is
with that
getting
shit. May's
crazy.
like, no, I can't have sex with you until we're married. I obviously.
So, who's writing the fan fiction? It can't be us, we have no
Seriously.
time,
That's
but
like,
please to us.
this writes itself, honestly.
All of our fan fictions do, we just don't have time.
I know.
I wanna create a big, gay energy fan fiction account, but with no time. We need more time. If you would like to help out with the podcast, you feel free to let us know.
Let us know. That'd be
Anyway,
so funny. Anyway, back to this scene.
we really have gone off the rails. Alright, so May got her eyesight back. That's where we are.
And I is
She
not there to
forgot.
tell the truth to. So
Yes. So as May gets out of the bed, she notices that only her pair of slippers are left, which means I is really gone. Dun dun dun. And so if we had actually stopped there, the way the shadows fall on May's face as she's looking at the floor are perfect. Like it's perfect because there is a looming darkness in the background that May could have never predicted.
Ooh.
So I just love how the shadow falls on her face.
I love this Pluto director. So that was a good job.
They really utilize this window that is in her
They
room.
do.
And then I looked at it one day and I'm like, is that a window inside the
Yes,
house?
it is
Because
a window because it's a big mansion. Remember, like Big Nung's mansion, the Bua Palace, where they have the like the atrium. They have like the middle of the house that's like big. This is like fancy houses, right? And so like the bedrooms have windows going into the house in the middle of the house, and that's what Maze is. So it must be this very big mansion they're in because we only see some rooms, and so it's all
yeah.
looking into the chandelier, the main one in the
Mhm.
atrium. So like yeah, the window is in the house. So like you think you're like oh the sun's shining. It's like no, the maid turned the chandelier on, and that's the light coming into the room.
Yeah, well,
Because she has other
no,
windows probably to the
they
outside,
said
but they're covered
as
usually.
you can see if you look in the window, especially in this scene, you can see the spotlight that they set up.
Of course.
But it just means that somebody is ringing this light in this house in like this corner, and they have to like get up a big ladder just to set this thing
That
up. And
sucks.
I'm watching it in my head right now of how they're setting this light up, and I'm
Yeah,
just
so
like,
like I
good for
assume
you
that
guys.
this room is on the second floor that they're shooting in because like the chandelier is close to the window, which is on the
Yeah,
ceiling.
at least second floor
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's
at
three
least second
floors.
floor. Yeah, 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 that's true. We don't know how many stories this house is, but like it's like this
Why
is one of the
is the
top levels, I
blind
would think.
girl sleeping on the highest level of the house?
No, but like it's crazy that like productions like no, we got to go up to the you know what I mean? They didn't
Yeah,
shoot on the first. That's what I mean from a not from a May standpoint, but from like a production
but yeah,
standpoint. They picked a
production.
room like high up in the house, which is just interesting. And this particular
Yeah.
room has been used in other shows, like Mate the series shot in this room in this house, and they use this room. So I wonder, like with these houses they rent out, if there's certain rooms that are
I
like,
wonder if it's because they can control the light more
and
too,
perhaps
with the
that
light
too.
coming
Yeah,
into the window.
yeah.
Because I mean, I personally only noticed that it wasn't to the outside because it was clear that one time in one scene and the chandelier was on. But I
Yes.
really thought it was like light coming in from the outside a couple of the scenes, but it might have just been me not paying close enough attention. Um, but it's just like because I brought up that window before of how like the light went through it. It was definitely not chandelier light. So
Mhm.
that's why I thought it was an actual window. But yeah. Anyway. Okay. So as May is trying to figure out what is going on, as we are too, someone walks in, but not with the right slippers. And since I was literally just given the slippers last night, this can't be her. This is actually a perfect transition, like, from what is about to happen, going from the empty floor to different slippers walking in the room, and,
Oh
like,
yeah,
that's for the viewer to figure out what's going on.
absolutely.
And at first, May is super excited because she thinks that she is about to get to tell I that her eyesight is back. I wanna stop here for a second, though.
Yes, look at Oom.
What if I should have brought this up earlier. What if I was there and she could tell her that she could see her again? Would I really believe that May just got her eyesight back overnight randomly?
I mean,
Like, how would
I is
May explain that?
that's a great point. I mean, I is too trusting when it comes to May. But yeah, seriously, what like this plan was so stupid from May because I mean, I understand why she does it. But like, yeah, then you have to be like, no, 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 but I could remember the sexcapades in the van. I could kind of see, you know what I mean? That she used to go back and explain all that. And I was like, what do you mean you could see? Like,
Yeah, that's the biggest
yeah.
part. How are you? See, the thing is, all right, so I rewatched past this to just make sure I didn't say anything stupid. Um, And it still doesn't come up. I'm like,
No.
"How?"
No, it never comes
Anyway,
up. They never
and I'm
really.
really pissed about it because I wanna know how they explain all this shit.
No.
I wanna see them talk about it all. That's all I want. I want to see that there's no more secrets because we don't know
We don't
what
know.
secrets she actually
We
knows.
don't know. We don't get to see every single lie unravel individually. It's just like the big one unravels and then they make up basically.
Yeah, which we'll get to, but, like,
Yeah. You're
not it's
right.
not everything, and I want everything. I'm a greedy bitch, just give it to me all. Give it
Seriously.
all to me. There we go. I want it all. There's gonna be another High School Musical reference in soon, so just wait for it. Anyway, back to the scene. May is staring at I, but her smile falters because she knows something isn't right, and
Uh,
she recognizes this is not I right
no.
away.
Yeah, right away. Like immediately. Before she looks at the slippers. Like she notices this is not I's body language. I doesn't do this with her hair. I would never wear that willingly. Like again, so like she used her sight enough to notice things about I to be able to recognize immediately that that's not I before
Yeah,
looking at the slippers because eventually she will look and you'll see and then yeah. So the slippers are for us to be like that's but like it's obviously not I. Like
yeah.
we've also been staring at
Is
I.
yes,
We
Is
have been.
wearing the same color as I was last night, but her clothes are definitely very as well.
Correct. And her look at her hair. Her hair is wavy. I has never once done that outside of a
Was that?
stylist fixing her hair for Ploy's event. I's hair is
I feel
always
like
straight.
we either saw that outfit before or did I use that outfit to pretend? Was it the first time that she went to May that
No,
she
she
used
wasn't
this
wearing that. She was
outfit?
wearing a vest. She was
Okay.
wearing similar clothing, like Oom's clothing. But remember, she ditched the disguises a long time ago.
Oh yes.
And when May has had her vision back, I has not been wearing Oom's clothing. I has been wearing her own clothing. Except with
Yeah.
the exception of Ploy's restaurant thing, because May dressed her up in their matching couples outfit.
Hmm.
But that's it. Eyes. That's why, like, immediately with the clothes and the hair is like a big giveaway that like this is an eye. And like
Yeah.
obviously May has spent years with and like knows Oom's wardrobe and Oom's hair and Oom's gait. Because remember, one of the first things she says to I, she's like, "Oh, I know what your steps sound like. I know like what it sounds like when you're the one walking." So like, I think there's a lot of clues here that like this isn't I. Just outside of the fact that like she can see I and knows what she looks like now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's
Still not
so
adding up.
fast that May's like, "This is not I."
Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps you should tell them the truth. Well, actually, you can't tell That's the problem. Oom's not poor Oom.
Yeah. If you tell her the truth, she gonna be like, "What?"
What?
She'd be really
Poor
confused.
Oom.
Oh my
But it's
gosh.
so fucked up
No,
for
poor
Oom because like Oom has to learn the truth of this shit all over again. Like, it's not just the Paul thing, which like she doesn't care about Paul until the
No, she
very end.
does.
And she's like, I guess I did care about him. Whoops. After he's dead. But like she has to relearn that May was never in love with her to begin with. And it was always I. Like poor Oom has to get traumatized by that again. Poor Oom. But it's worse
Yes, that does
because
suck.
like it's worse because then she's gonna be like, "You've actually been with my sister now." Well, fuck.
This whole show,
That's why the
this
show is fun.
it's Pluto. Yep.
That's why the show is fun because it's so wild, and everybody's point of view is very fun.
That's true.
It's
It's
very
very
fun.
different
Yeah,
from
it's
who.
not just the wild drama. It's like, damn, everybody's point of view is just very interesting.
And then we got the side bitch trio has their own storyline going on as
I
well.
know we didn't even get to the thruple part yet.
I know, right?
We'll get there. The thruple
This
that
is
could have
not their
been.
episode. Anyway. Okay, so when comes walking in, I like the way that they have enter the room, where the camera is right behind her,
Hmm.
and we are walking with her towards May. And May is
Yes.
very small in the frame, and almost her entire body is seen, making her seem more vulnerable because like she's very exposed in this frame, but she's very small. And like the way that mm, sorry, doing notes. Oh shit. Okay. Nope, we were both just very still. I thought I froze.
Oh no, you're good. You're
Anyway,
good.
um doing notes for this episode was a trip because I really messed up every single time. I was like, May, I. Who am I talking about right now? Anyway, walking towards May, like this is May being deceived again. And visually, it's like Doom is walking towards her.
Yeah.
So I really like the way that they filmed this. So once gets to May, says her name and then says, Gosh, I missed you so much, as she hugs May. So if is taking over for this is weird to say since they literally just saw each other.
Correct. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. No, this line is weird. And then also weird that in a second, when pulls away, May is staring in her face and then starts looking her up and down. And doesn't question that because the intel that she got is that May's blind. And then May is very much not blind in this scene. Like she's like Oom's looking at her face and she's like looking her up and down and Oom's just like, this is normal. This is what blind people do. I don't know. Like, doesn't question that.
No, doesn't question a lot, and she really should, because a lot's not adding up in
No.
general in her life.
No.
But she's just like, sure, I'm going to go with it.
Because you know what? Is the audience where she's a little too trustworthy of people she should not be trustworthy of. Like is us. We are We are
Yes.
Is on our
Okay.
level. And she's like, I trust you because you told me. And then learns that you should never trust people, I empathize.
You should trust nobody.
No.
All right. But before we get to this point, May's facial expressions say it all. Like,
Yes.
as is hugging her, because this person is a stranger to her now. Like, yeah, she did have a relationship with her, but this is not who she's been with.
No.
And first of all, why is she here? And like May is very confused about what the hell is happening right now. And it's important to note that May does not hug back.
No.
And doesn't notice or question that either.
Correct.
Right now.
Correct.
And then holds May's hand as they both take in each other. And you just see how unhappy May is. Like, her face is like no confusing that for her happiness. That she's just like, what the hell is this?
And again, who can see, doesn't think that's weird that the blind girl looks fucking confused as fuck right now.
Yep.
We don't question that.
But nothing else happens in this scene.
No!
And I'm just very curious about what the hell happens in between this scene and them in the waiting room later.
Yes! Because,
like, was it silence the whole time?
Well, okay, so, I feel
it
like...
can't be.
Well, here's the deal. Well, did May already have this doctor's appointment, or did she be like, I gotta my vision... Like, she had to have told that her vision was coming back, because,
yeah,
that is why they went to
later,
the doctor. You know what I mean? So, at some point between that and the waiting room scene, she had to have been like, I have to go get my eyesight checked out. Because
also because
but what did she tell though?
Says that, are you happy you can see me more clearly now? And she says, more.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that she could see it all.
Right.
So that means she did not prep her on that. So something had to have happened where she did learn that she was able to see her.
Right. I think May had to, to your point, where's the missing scene where she tells I can see for a while. I feel like she had to tell something, like, my vision has been slowly coming back. Like, she had to have told something to be like, we have to go to the doctor so I get this checked out. Because whatever. So,
and
only knows that now.
May is damn lucky that there was no time for to go back to I
Yes, and be like,
and tell her
"Oh,
that.
she can see you. Oh, thanks for looking like me." You know what I mean? And, like, it's wild that well, I think I avoids because she's heartbroken, but, like,
Yeah.
never, like, texts I and is like, "Hey, by the way, she can see." Like,
No,
never
I don't
texts
think
I.
like, lost some memories and also some knowledge that technology exists, because there's
Sure.
also another time, you know I'm just gonna say it right now because we're here. Because Meemaw tells her that May is still overseas, and she's like, "I have to wait to go see her until she comes back." Phones exist, though. You could technically text
But I
her.
wonder if I still had her cell phone. Like, when did get her cell phone
But,
back?
like,
Like,
yeah, why wouldn't I give that to her?
well,
Because she
I
needs
needed
that
it
now.
to cosplay for the May thing.
Yeah, but she shoulda given it to her
I
when she gave
agree,
her
I
the
agree.
ring and the
Logically, should have gotten her cell phone back.
actually, shoulda gotten it back as soon as she woke up.
Correct, but I do wonder if they're like, well, maybe doctor's advice. They're like, hey, keep her off the internet for a while while her memories come back. Like, I wonder if that was like
Yeah, what
medical
if she
advice.
just Googled herself?
Correct, correct, and like finds her wedding invitation. They probably were to keep her away from because Paul was a whole high profile person, so like their wedding announcement is probably out there on the internet somewhere. So I
You
wonder
know
if
what?
they were trying to
I would
keep
have loved the
her.
scene where she sees a newspaper and it's just, like, her and Paul on the
She's
front
like, "Who the fuck
page.
is that?
Be like, "Why does this person have my
Who
face?
the fuck is that?
Name.
I?" Oh my
Are
god!
you
And then
pretending to be me?"
wait, then we have to start a new thing where I's like, "Yeah, no, that's my husband," or
And he died.
he's dead now. Uh,
He thought I was you, though.
Coincidentally, it was the same day as your accident. Don't think too hard about that. Ooh. Okay, I trust you. No, poor Oom. I'm sorry. In one episode, you were like, they treat I like she's a buffoon. That's how they treat right now. But anyway, I forgot where we're going with that. But this episode,
I don't know,
I guess
we're in
once you
another
introduce
season.
all the feelings come out because like things start going off the rails, and it's great. I did warn you guys that this is going to start happening once enters the scene. All the fan fiction comes out.
I just want everybody to know that this is what my brain normally does,
Caitlin
and I
started
don't
it.
always say everything out loud, but sometimes I do, and this is where we are.
No, but for real though, like I feel I just May obviously clued in on actual stuff that she was keeping. So again, May's like, I can't tell I the truth, but she can tell immediately. Like, okay, May.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like, oh well, my vision has been coming back slowly. And she tells
Well, it's because she doesn't care
immediately.
about
Right. May.
Sh
So
and, like, she doesn't prove
frustrating.
that she ever did. Because like, as soon as she finds out that, it was I all along, became nothing to her, and
Yes,
she
which
treated
is
her like scum.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, there was bad blood there for sure with did fuck shit when it came to May back in the day. So I get
Yeah.
it, but also
But,
was
like, you should
upset.
be like, "Oh, is she okay?" Not, "Oh, she's gonna talk to I."
I know that was ridiculous. She's like, gonna ruin my life
That
again,
was really messed
girl."
up of her.
Yeah, it really is revealing about where May's headspace is or was in that relationship too. Which, yeah, anyway.
Back to the
Back to
episode.
the episode.
So we transition to May at an eye appointment with Tan and another doctor. And the doctor tells May there are no signs of abnormalities. Well, at least in her eyes. Like, because the doctor would never be able to diagnose what the hell is going on in her personal life.
It's just an optometrist, not a therapist. So we're missing some
Yes.
signs here. That's
So that
valid.
no abnormalities in the eyes. Life, that's
Uh,
another story.
You're not wrong.
I know. And Tan is super happy for May and tells her that she will be able to see her girlfriend's face clearly now, which I think is also his way at hinting the fact that like they really need to talk about their shit right now because
Yeah.
he's like, you have no excuse now. Do it.
Correct. I'm tired of being the third wheel to these shenanigans.
Like
Like,
you
tell
remember
him the
that
truth.
was your whole
Remember,
thing,
that was the
right?
deal, right? Yeah. I'm with you. That's his energy in the scene.
But May doesn't look happy because she isn't. Like, this is not what she wants. This is not what she planned. And she just has to say. She does not understand. Sorry, she just really wants to go back to the status quo at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That was your High School Musical reference, by the way.
Well done.
I am done now. Um, May tells him that she did already see her, and it wasn't Ioun. Meanwhile, the doctor is still there, probably really confused
Yes.
about why her patient isn't thrilled about seeing again. And also be like, "What do you mean you saw your girlfriend, but it wasn't your girlfriend?"
Yeah, this doctor has no context for any of this bullshit, and is like, "What did I just step into by being like, okay, get out of my office now. Your eyesight's fine. This is weird."
Or okay, but they also work in the same hospital as Tan. So, like, does she know Tan, and Tan has been venting to her
That's
all this
also
time?
valid.
Because, like,
Yeah,
anything is possible.
let's be honest, this hospital's not great with HIPAA, so everybody knows everybody's business. Like in this office, you are correct. Tan has told this woman everything. Like at lunch, he probably vents about his crazy cousin to all of the doctors. So they're like, oh, this is the one that's like dating a twin. And like, she knows everything. This woman knows everything. She's like, and then she has to do what May's always doing, where she's like, don't react. So May doesn't know that you know about all this. You know what I mean? The doctor's like, I can't let her know that I know about.
There's an office betting pool on when these bitches are gonna actually
That was
tell each other
so
things.
funny. Pluto, but from the point of view of the hospital staff that is also keeping all the secrets of what's happening because they all know.
That's the comedy version of the
No,
show.
seriously, that'd be so funny. It's just this show, but everybody else's point of view.
And this is only one plot line. It's like all the Thai girl loves and like all the ones set in hospitals, they have like their it's like a bracket of like who has the most messed up friendship, like friend
Oh my
going
god.
on.
I don't there are no winners in that, only losers.
I would love to see it though.
That would be really
Oh my god,
funny though. But
I
like
want to see
Pluto
all
in
this.
particular would be wild if you got that show because like you have this stuff where May is coming in for the eyesight thing, and then you have in the coma. You know what I mean? So you have
There's a
multiple.
whole murder board, Theor. When you need a murder board for a show.
No, but listen, yes, I know. But like to have the hospital staff, like you have multiple
Yeah.
settings where they have to like be involved with the bullshit from different ends of the bullshit.
Mhm.
So it would be really funny to actually have that show.
Yeah. And then the ICU staff is like, "Tan, why are you here? We
Yes,
told you not to
son,
come back here. You're not allowed here."
you're not a critical care doctor. You're like a clinic doctor. Get out of here. Get
And
out
then
of that chart.
there's this whole meeting, like company wide, being like, okay, we have to stay in the departments where we are assigned. We cannot just go to random patients' rooms and look at their
You know
charts.
who's running this? This is Dr. Fallada's hospital,
Yeah.
obviously, because like you got Derm in the ER constantly and some fucked up shit like that. Yeah, this is her hospital. That's canon.
The CEO is like, this is why we're not higher ranked.
Yeah. Well, first of all, nepotism. And second of all, Dr. Fallada is running this shit. And like she's cool with that, with HIPAA violations. So anyway.
We went off the rails again. Sorry,
This is what
everybody.
happens when shows up.
Sorry, I can't. I'm dying. All right. So May then does the most dramatic thing ever and slowly looks outside the window
This is really
as she
dramatic.
says, "It was Oom."
What is a boo?
I'm sorry, just the window shot is so dramatic.
It's so
the
dramatic.
equivalent of
You're not
riding in the
wrong.
car and just staring out the window as the rain is
Yes,
falling
I
down
was
the
gonna say it
window.
was raining. She puts her hand on the window. That's the energy of that scene. You're not wrong. When the rain falls
Falls down.
down. Hilary Duff starts playing. Yeah.
That's this. Okay, I was like, I know this song. I love
Hilary
Hillary
Duff.
Duff. Okay. Um, so off the rails. My gosh. The title of this episode is Off the Rails.
Showed up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Shows up. Okay.
Oom.
So we cut to with May in the waiting room and May's hands are on her lap when puts her hand on May's and brings it over to hers. So far, is making all the moves, which makes sense because May doesn't want this.
Yes. And Uma is a good girlfriend. That is what we're saying here. Uma actually is a good girlfriend when she's
Is caring and
when she's
when she's into
invested.
the relation. Yeah. When she wants this.
When she only one person wants this. It's
And she questions nothing. She will love them enough for the both of them.
Oh my god. But seriously, this scene, the opening of this scene really breaks my heart because like looks so fucking happy. Like she looks so
Mhm.
happy. Like think about it. Like she just got out of a coma that she's not allowed to talk about. And then May just found out she's made a full recovery with her eyesight. And so, like, what a fucking miracle this is. And like, is still like, I love you more than anything. So like, she's just so happy that all this good stuff is happening. You know what I mean? She's like, oh my god, all the good karma is happening right now. And she's just trying to like keep May happy. And it's just, I feel so bad for her in this scene. She's like, just look at her just being happy. Poor Oom.
Oh, darling.
I
You will
know.
not stay happy.
No,
Okay.
sorry, Oom.
So asks May if she's happy to see her face more clearly. And we've already talked about the fact that she said more clearly.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll just skip over that right now. And we go from a close up shot of to a wide shot of and I, which takes the audience out of this moment.
You mean
And
Oom
I
and
think
May?
this
I was like, where the fuck is I? I
I
shows
was
up.
gonna try so hard, guys. I tried so hard.
Or
I
Caitlin.
triple checked myself every time I wrote a name. And I still did it.
It's okay. It's
Oh,
only
and
one. It's only one. It's okay.
they're all one person,
I
just so you
know.
know.
Basically,
They're all one.
they're wrapped up in the same lie.
I wrote I didn't even just say that. Okay, so a wide shot of and May, which takes the audience out of the moment.
Valid.
And I think I said the right name here. All right, I think this was done to show how not into this conversation May is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we then go to a close up of her. So we're like, she's like not into this. So
No.
we don't need to have the emotion in the scene. Because that's usually if you go to a wide shot, it's taking the audience out of the emotion and like being connected to what's going on. But
Yeah.
May's not connected to this right now. So
Yeah. I'm
we
really
don't
glad
have
you
to be.
brought that up. Because again, like is like so into what's happening, and May is not even present in this moment in time. It's so sad. Like they're diametrically opposed in this scene. It's so that's why I feel so bad for
I mean, like May is clearly not into anything that does. And like
No.
will later process that. But like that is
It
terrible.
is terrible.
Because she's giving everything to her right now
I
and
know.
getting nothing in return.
Nothing. Ugh.
Technically, it's I's fault.
Technically, it's May's fault because May could have cleared this shit up a long time
That's
ago.
true.
And here we are, May. You're reaping the seeds of your own bullshit.
If you would have just told her in the van RV thing.
Seriously. There were so many opportunities. This is like exile. There were no warning signs. There were so many signs.
So many signs.
So many.
Many signs.
And poor has to suffer again because you're bullshit.
Like if
It's
that
so
night
frustrating.
in the van, May would have just come clean. They could have talked it out. I could have been like, "This is why I'm sad," and they could have just. I mean, we wouldn't have a show. We would, but it would be like 8 episodes.
You know what would
not
happen
12.
if they actually like the scene where they're on top of the camper and then May looks directly into I's eyes and could have just told her right then and there. We'd have queendom because then they would actually have a conversation and tell the truth.
That's true.
And then we wouldn't be here. We would be in a child
like the drama would still be
we would still have drama
so,
because
like,
lost her memory. There's still drama to be had. We don't have to keep doing this. But here we are.
This is And like, GMMTV, this is you at this point now because
It
we've seen
is.
what you did with us.
This is them because what happens in the novel, if you can believe it, is more unhinged than this. It's so unhinged.
Okay,
Just wait. We'll get there.
I'm
Episode
waiting.
11. We'll get there.
Okay,
It's so unhinged. This is somehow tamer.
that's insane. All right.
Yes.
Well, I
Anyway.
mean, you did tell me already at the end that they don't know why they love each other,
Okay,
so
that is really insane, but how we get there is also unhinged. GMMTV, again, they take these books and they're like, we're not doing any of that. Because what is this? This is more plausible, actually.
okay. All right. So May decides to play along because what the hell else is she supposed to do? So she says, "Of course I am." But again, her face doesn't really prove that. And asks her, besides her, what else does she want to see? So, like,
Um,
that's really on for assuming of the fact that she wants to see her.
my poor Oom. This looks so happy.
And every time I read that is saying, "What else do you want to see?" My brain just thinks the person who she actually loves.
You, but different. Poor
You, but
Oom.
not. Tells May that she will take her anywhere. And I'm sure she means it, but
She
again, this is
does.
not what May wants.
No.
And May looks like she's thinking a lot and looks around, but keeps going back to And like, it's like she's trying to figure out how to get the upper hand here,
Yes.
like, or back,
Uh-huh.
since she was caught so off guard, and like that's not usual for her. I mean,
Yes.
she's more used to it with but this is something that was completely out there because like she was starting to figure out more because you saw that with the way that she was like trying to keep her. Like she's like, I know she might run, so she was starting to become predictable for her, and this was what the hell?
Well, here's the thing, because like with it's a double-edged sword when it comes to May. The fact that I's behavior is unpredictable for her. Like it's a double-edged sword because when I is doing romantic gestures, like May can't predict them. Like she's serenading you in Ploy's restaurant replica, like swoon worthy, right? Like May never ultimate surprise, right? But then I
Mhm.
can also do the opposite where she like disappears for weeks on end and you're just like, I don't know what happened. Like to your point, you said earlier, I just run like bolts and like May doesn't know what the hell is happening. So it's like the unpredictability is like good and bad when it comes to May. But in this scene right now, she's like, I did this. She's like, why the fuck did I? Her mind is there. She's like, why did I do this? Why did I run away from me? Why did I do this? She's not with obviously, in the scene. So then she's like, but is doing a good job of like filling it like stepping back into the role of quote you know so then what May does is she's like, well, how do I like unravel what I just did? So that's when she's gonna start grilling to try to like catch in the lie that she's not Ioun, and like because that's all she has, because you're right, she's trying to get the upper hand back because she's like she's been on the defensive honestly since the van trip, since the morning after when I just was like completely different person, and like May has been in that vulnerable, she doesn't know what's going to happen position. And as our listeners have said, May does not like being in that position. And like, here's the result of that, where she's going to start getting like poking holes at to try to get to slip up.
Yeah, and May decides to test by saying that she wants to eat their favorite dish. Because surely won't know what she means by this, and May can catch her pretending to be I, pretending to be
Yes. Not I pretending to be It's pretending to be I. Who's pretending to be
Yeah, yeah. And at first, it looks like is confused, and she asks about their favorite dish. And May just responds, Don't tell me you forgot already. And, like, ouch,
Fucking
May,
lie.
okay?
Hey, May.
Because you know this is a sore spot for right now, who literally forgot everything.
I'm
Did
sorry, I
I
didn't
get
even think
you?
about that. May, this bitch does know that forgot her memories, you bitch. May, you're so right. That's so mean. You asshole. Oh my god,
Like,
that's
that's
so
the line you
fucked.
choose?
That's so fucked. You're right. May literally does not care about at all. It's so
No.
mean. She
No,
doesn't.
she will use
Ah.
it to hurt her more.
Oh, you're so right. That line is so fucked up. I didn't realize how fucked up it is. Damn, good catch.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
May. God damn it.
Yeah. It's like,
That's so
forgetting
fucked
is
up.
not a good thing to
Poor
bring up right now.
Oom.
And May looks pleased to see that she stumped
By jabbing at her new disability.
Yep.
God damn it.
Takes one to know one,
Yeah,
May.
bitch.
Sorry, I'm dying. All right. But one-ups her and says, how could she forget? She just made it for her yesterday.
Good job, Oom.
But trying to be a good girlfriend, says if she wants it, she will make it for her again. Cut back to May, and she looks confused,
Pissed.
concerned, hurt, all the emotions. And this is confirmation that I told, well, like this is confirmation to May that I told everything and is truly trying to pretend like it was the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which really, really, really.
But did I
You really thought
tell
this was gonna work?
Okay, but here's the deal. May could really like again, if she was really being vindictive towards then she'd be like, you know what I want? I want what happened in the van. Like, she would bring up sex with like if she was really trying to get under skin, because I don't think I told that.
No.
And like,
She said she will tell her everything, but
right. I don't know that I
still
would
probably
ever
not
tell
that.
that.
No.
But like seriously, all May had to do was bring up sex with and that would be the end of this. Would be like, "What? I mean, I did what with you?" You know what I mean?
I
Me,
was
the real
all in
Oom?
on pretending to be you
Yeah, I think
with
that would
by
be good.
doing something that you two never did.
No, seriously.
Okay, so they're just staring at each other, and starts to look away and looks a bit uncomfortable because May is giving her nothing to work with right now.
Okay, that and I think to me this kind of fidgeting is showing that like is uncomfortable lying to May.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really what this is. And like I get the sense from these little scenes that like is more reluctant than I when it comes to just lying to people on purpose. Because like she look again, this is day one and she looks super uncomfortable with being in this position. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel so bad for
that is true.
She's just too trusting right now.
Well, what else is she supposed to do? She literally
Listen,
forgets everything.
I know. No, I know. Like she's kind of like in this position where she's like trusting the people to like take care of her, and then like they're just making it worse.
They really don't do that.
No. Anyway.
We then get a match cut from hand rubbing together
So good.
nervously in the waiting room to her doing the same thing the night prior when she was talking to I about everything.
Okay, wait a minute. But can we talk about this? Because here's I in the exact same clothes that she was wearing when she left Maze. So
Mhm.
did I just like leave May at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, go home, then like I assume she took a second to compose herself and stop crying, and then was like, we need to talk right now. And it's like 4 a.m. And like, why are we talking at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened
That's
because
crazy.
she
Poor
didn't wanna
and Oom's
she
not
didn't wanna
like
back out of this decision, so she
yeah,
had to do it.
like, if you were Oom, I mean, at some point, like, it's no wonder that very quickly she's like, "Something is wrong," because, like, there's too many red flags with my family right now. What is happening? Like, this is
Yeah.
weird.
My family's a walking red flag.
I, who, like, never talks to her, is like, "It's 4 AM, we need to have a heart to heart right now."
Yes, and that's why asked why they need to talk so late at night,
This is
and
crazy.
can it wait until tomorrow?
Seriously.
And I's body language shows that she does not want to be doing this right now. And she tells that if it could have waited, then she wouldn't have woken her up. Be like, what? That was such a stupid question,
God,
Of course it can't.
stop being so slow. It's like you were just in a coma or some shit.
And she continues to say that Meemaw said wanted to see May, and is like, definitely. Oom's probably like, well, duh, of course I want to see my girlfriend. Oh shit, we're further along there than I thought.
Uh-huh.
Never mind. Okay. So tells I that Meemaw said she needed to wait until May came back from overseas. Like we already talked about, technology exists. Anyway, I stares at the floor for a few seconds before telling that May isn't overseas, which makes confused because why would Meemaw lie to her?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No,
yeah, and
okay.
she then asks where May is then.
So I think this is really interesting because, like, learns that Mima lies to her, and then that I lies to her too. So, like, again, like the family, they're like lying with good intentions, but like, I really think that ironically, by I and Mima trying to protect by telling these lies, they end up harming Oom's mental state more. You know what I mean? Because
Uh-huh.
they don't know her mental state is not solid. So, like, the irony that
She's never gonna be able to trust them.
they end up hurting by telling these lies, and like is finding out that they've been lying to her like slowly, and it's like, what the fuck, you know?
Okay, so I then tells there is something important that she should know. She should know a lot more than what you're
Seriously,
actually telling her, but like, sure.
there's also something really
And
important that you need to know, I that you don't know, but
yeah,
is
that
not the
too.
person to tell you.
No, no. Okay. And then lets her in on the fact that May became blind before everything happened, and Meemaw sent her to take care of May for her because Meemaw was afraid that May would get stressed.
So yeah, this is learning Mima lied because Mima's like, oh yeah, she's just overseas. Don't worry about it. And then I's like, no, 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 Mima lied. May has been blind to this whole time. And poor Oom's like, what do you mean she's blind? Like, she looks so worried. Like, I feel so bad for her. I'm sorry. I cannot state that enough.
But
I'm sorry
like,
for her.
Meemaw did not tell I to go check on to pretend to be so she wouldn't get stressed. So why are we making another lie for Meemaw?
I don't know. Whose idea was that? Mima's or I's?
That was I's. That this whole because this is all I's idea right now. So this had to have been I.
You're right. Yeah, probably.
And I continues on to say that it's time for to go back and take care of May herself. And then she hands the ring, and I think that's a key card.
Yeah, it's the get into the house.
Um, okay, to so she has it. And like this is a lot of information for to process quickly.
Yeah, you were
And
pretending to be me and you were with my girlfriend who's blind. Like, that's crazy to find out right then and there.
yeah. And so does the only thing that she can think of doing right now because she can't process anything yet because this is a lot. And thanks I for taking care of May for her. Now, ignoring the fact that that was crazy.
Yes. Yeah. Poor Oom.
And like, but poor because she is being just as deceived right now.
Yes. Uh-huh. By Mima and I.
And May,
Well,
technically.
yes, also May. Ah.
I then tells her that she will tell her everything that happened while she was in the hospital, but she can't let May know that she disguised herself as
Right. So she's like, you now must lie to your girlfriend, is what I is saying. Like,
Yes.
join the family in our lies. it's
Welcome to our family of liars.
yes, it's insane.
Sorry you
Welcome
forget us.
back. We're all a bunch of lying bastards now. Come on,
This is the family trait now.
it's what we
Welcome.
do. Okay, wait. I have something actually constructive to say. So, what's the other thing worth noting in that flashback is that I was able to have that entire conversation with without breaking down. Okay, because we know how upset she is over this. And the fact that she did that with a straight face, like without a whiff of a tear, and she was able to straight up tell you have to go back to May, and did not look sad at all. To me, that's just proof that I loves more than anybody else. Okay, the fact that she was able to do that. And I think that like that scene right there is the biggest indicator, like who I's gonna choose when she gets the ultimatum later. Because like there she is, like doing the thing for straight faced. Like she breaks down later with Meemaw, but not in front of Like she does
Mhm.
it for Like the heart is like her heart is actively breaking in that scene, and she's doing it without a hint of anything, just for her sister. Like she loves more than anybody. Like that scene just proves it, honestly.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
We then go back to and May in the waiting room. And May continues to test to see if she can catch her in the act. And she tells that she saw she wasn't wearing the slippers she gave her this morning.
Yeah.
And then says, "Don't you like them?" And this is when we get a quick flashback to the previous scene and of I telling about the slippers and tells her to tell May that she brought them home so she could be reminded of her, basically, while wearing them when she wasn't with her. And
Which is not a
Then
lie.
asks, yeah, it's not.
That's not a lie.
Um, then asks where the slippers are, though, because she wants to wear them.
Of course she does. She's like, "Where's my
And
gift?"
I think this would actually kill I if wore the slippers that meant so much to
Yes.
her.
Yes. That would kill I, honestly. You're right.
So I lies. Big shocker, right?
Again! I lies. Shocking.
Yeah.
Breaking
And
news.
she tells her that she misplaced them and she'll let her know when she finds them.
She's like, "I literally just got back from Maze with the slippers,
No,
and I
that
lost
is my
them."
point. First of all, how do you lose something big enough like slippers when you just got them? Like she
Yeah,
just came home with them
like,
at the time of telling this.
I know! Poor is not this is just proof that mentally is not okay, because, like, she's recovering from head trauma and is, like, can't process any of this shit. She's like, "Okay, whatever you say." This was insane.
This show is insane.
I know, but it's so fun.
So back to May and recounts the story I prepped her with, saying that she took them home with her and she went back to give Meemaw the food offerings. Because May can't argue when it has to do with Meemaw.
No.
And during this whole conversation, May puts her hand back on her own lap again. And then puts her hand on top of May's while telling her they should go to the supermarket to buy the ingredients for their favorite dish and celebrate May's sight recovery. Definitely not how May was expecting to celebrate this.
No. But you did this, May. This is the fruits of your deception is right here. So, you put
Yes.
yourself here, girl,
You made the bed, now lie in it.
and you put all of us here. So,
Yes.
again, is collateral damage because of your bullshit.
So May still doesn't seem happy because, let's be real, this freaking sucks for her. And May is lost in thought, and tries to get her attention by saying her name a few times, and then asking if she is okay, when May jumps a bit, startled. Like she was no thoughts on
No,
at all.
she forgot was even
Does
there.
not exist.
Nope.
So, what does May do? May tells Oom she has something urgent to do and she needs to go now, and
I
then
got a
promptly
gay.
gets up to leave,
I got a
while
gay.
leaving Oom
So
confused about what the hell just happened.
yeah, which is like the theme of this episode, leaving there confused about what just happened.
Oh gosh. Okay. So,
Okay, here's the deal though. I feel really bad for when May runs away, but like, because look at her, she looks so sad and confused. But I get why May did it, to be honest, because like May could barely keep her shit together when she realized that I left her for real. Cause like, remember Tom's like, what are you gonna do if she leaves you for real? And then she's like, no comment. And then here it is happening. Cause like, so this is
yeah.
proof to my point earlier that May clearly never actually thought that line of thinking through because she doesn't know what the fuck to do now that it actually happened. Ugh.
I mean, this is a whole lot. A lot for everybody.
Yeah, but like, hold on. I have one more point about May's
Okay.
behavior in that scene. She, to your point, you're like she was super spaced out, but like I said, like if she was really trying to get at like she could. There were lines of things she could have brought up, like the sexcapades, that could have like really poked the big giant hole in this. But I think maybe part of the reason she doesn't like come too close to the truth kind of thing is like because like thanks to Tan's HIPAA violating habit, like she knows lost her short-term memory, so like maybe she's not trying to she's like I don't who knows what new maybe she's just like I don't want to rock the boat here because who knows what actually knows, because very easily like in that scene May could have taken her frustration and like fear out on by like blurting out the truth, right, in some like desperate attempt to get I back to be like it was she could have just blurted it out and came clean to because like clearly she's has no reserve with like telling the truth to like we saw with the vision. Immediately she's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's been like a month that she probably told her everything and Oom's like, yeah, that makes sense. So like May could have blurted it out in this scene because like she's very desperate to get I back, but like she doesn't, which I think is really interesting because we keep pointing out there's like a lack of empathy when it comes to but like she didn't do that, which is interesting. If she really didn't care about like she could have just like blurted everything out. But like, who knows? May's not thinking clearly right now, obviously. So like running away was probably the best thing that could have happened because like she could be vindictive if she wants to, right? Like she could have lashed out at by like really hurting in that scene.
She may be able to see clearly now, but she cannot think clearly.
Yeah. True. But that's interesting.
Okay, so we then head back to May's house, and May puts on the slippers to, I assume, feel closer to I.
Yeah, she's having her
But
emo moment right now.
yeah, it just makes her sadder, and tears start streaming down her face. And she looks frozen in grief from basically losing I at this point. And May then puts her arms around herself, rubbing her arms, trying to bring herself some comfort, probably like trying to remember the feel of like I hugging her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something I
Meanwhile,
does, that hugs herself
yeah,
thing, yeah.
I wonder if when do we see May do that at all before that?
No.
Because I wonder if she saw I start to do that and was
Right.
like, maybe this will bring me closer to her
Maybe.
because this is what she uses.
It's very possible. That happened off screen when May could see.
Yes. All right. So meanwhile, Ploy comes in with too much energy for this situation that she is unaware of
Oh,
and is
Ploy.
like, "You can see me now, huh? I'm so happy. This is wonderful." She then gives May a side hug and tells her that she went out to buy her every flavor of macarons once she found out.
Which is so cute.
Yes, that is such a good friend. Be like, "I'm going to." They're expensive too.
I mean,
No,
Ploy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, not both of them. They don't care
They
about
don't care
money,
about money.
but that's a really nice thing to just go out and get.
In general, though, it's really, really sweet that Ploy came to see May immediately after learning May got her vision back.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, presumably Ploy was in Karat with a restaurant, which means she drove several hours just to come see May in
Mhm.
person.
Yeah, and that's why all this shit hit the fan
Yeah, but, like, again,
in the
just, like,
meantime.
Ploy does some ridiculous shit in the show, but, like, she really is a really good friend when it comes to
Oh, yeah,
May. Like,
she'll
here
be
she
right
is.
there for May.
Yeah. She's a good ride or die. Even though sometimes, like, her best of intentions, poor execution when it comes to Ploy, but,
Yes,
like, all this energy she
because
brought into the scene, like, she means
yeah,
well, she
and
does.
because she has not actually looked at May's
No,
face.
exactly. How could she? She, like, saw the back of her head, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't
Well,
know.
even when she sat down next to her and was showing her the macarons, she still didn't look at her.
Yeah.
And then once she does, she immediately realizes that May is not okay and does not look like someone who just got her eyesight back.
No.
And Ploy asks May what is wrong, and May tells her that I gave everything they had to And this is probably the most hurtful part for May
Yeah.
because all of this like stuff they shared, the info was special to them. And like the deceiving thing, I came in as a blank slate pretending to be But
Mhm.
here I was intent on the switch, like the switchback working. So she prepped
Yeah.
So it's just every
She she
it's just
shared
it's
their
hurt.
intimate moments with That's what
Mhm.
gets me. She's like, "That was us falling in love," and, like, you just gave that to
Yeah.
Like, it meant nothing. Like, that yeah. Ugh.
Like she was just like she wanted to hurt her or something. Well, no,
I think it's
she
like
doesn't
I think
know.
she's like, "It's over," because, like, I gave
Yeah.
everything. I is, like, literally I kept up the ruse. I never once came clean about who she was, and, like, she gave all of
Maybe if
our
someone else
memories
did.
to and was like so I took herself out of the equation. That's I think she's like replaying Tan's words where she's like, "I just left me for real. Like, I left."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the only way out is to tell the truth, and we're never gonna do that, May. So,
No.
yeah, so we're
That's
stuck
not
here
the title
now.
of the
We're
show.
stuck here now. Yeah, that's
Could
not the
you
title.
imagine if the title of the show was Truth?
No! Fuck you, Chow. No, it isn't. Pluto makes way more sense.
It does. It's the perfect title. So May continues to say that I left her. And Ploy can't believe it. Like Ploy then makes a comment that I is a bit too good of a big sister.
Yeah.
And she isn't wrong because in the next episode we are about to see just how committed of a sister she is.
She's the ultimate family person.
Yeah. And Ploy goes on to recap everything I did. I disguised herself as made May fall in love with her,
That was
and
May's fault.
then yeah, and then left May after woke up. Which, to be fair, this is none of I's actual intentions.
No.
Her
But
intention was to break up with May.
I was sent there by to break up with May, which
Yes,
May knew.
yeah,
By the way.
and well, yeah. Floyd then tells May that she thinks there's a reason behind this. There is always a reason,
Of course.
but you have to actually be able to talk
Oh my god.
about it to understand.
Seriously.
I'm just
Again,
saying.
if this was Queendom, we wouldn't be here because that's the I don't know, that show had the best communication ever in it.
Well, with one couple at least. Um,
Yes, with the main couple, which would fall under
yes,
May and I and
yes. So Ploy and May sit in silence for a bit until May asks randomly if Ploy came with Tan, and Ploy responds with her head nodding yes.
Okay. And we as a society move on way too quickly from the fact that Ploy came here with Tan because Ploy's been in Karat the whole time, right? With her restaurant. These bitches are in
Mm,
Bangkok. So does that
that is
mean
true.
was Ploy already in Bangkok? Because she was staying with Tan. Because last night, Tan came over with the food, right?
Yeah,
And there was no Ploy. And now the next day, this is probably afternoon, right? Here's Ploy bringing the
yeah,
cookies. Tan's not
and
here.
Tan. Tan was at the
No,
doctor
the
earlier,
doctor's
so
appointment. So when did Tan and Ploy meet up?
maybe, like, Ploy dropped her car off at his place, and then, like, they could've
So
I don't
Ploy
know, or
came to
she
see
was actually
Tan first, because I think you're right. I think Ploy was in Karat. Tan probably called her and was like, "Oh my god, May's vision's back. Get here now." And then she came here, but stopped to see him first. So was like he
why
at
didn't he come
work?
in?
Wasn't he working? Wasn't he at the hospital
No,
working?
he doesn't work.
No, he
Yeah,
just
he
showed up in his
was.
white
He was
coat
in
to
his
the
coat,
appointment,
yeah.
left.
But also,
Right. When did they
why
meet?
did he not come in the house? Why is he
Correct.
sitting in the car? I'm
I don't know.
assuming.
I don't know. I don't know. So like, did they hook up real fast? And then like, she's like, I gotta go get cookies now, and like, go see May. Where were those scenes of them being messy idiots? Because we just move on
There's a
very
lot of
fast
connect the
from that
dots.
line. Like May doesn't
Yeah,
react to it, but like, what were they doing? Why? Where is Tom? Yeah. How did that happen?
yeah. And after Ploy does say that, like, nod her head, yes, May's brain, you could see it starts braining, and that's always scary.
Yes. Because
Just
she's
saying.
definitely not thinking about Ton and Ploy. So
No.
no.
Like, why did you guys come together? No,
No, she's
in
like,
her head,
I
she just
own.
Tan and Ploy are one person.
Right. The way is not a person.
Yes.
Okay, really quickly. So then the next thing we cut over to I holding caressing the slippers, but I want to talk really quickly about the slippers in the first shot that we get. Okay, to me it's really odd that when we get I holding the slippers in her room, the slippers look more gray than purple. Because when we were in May's
I
room,
thought
they
they
look
were gray.
I thought they were purple. Like the lighting in May's room made them look purple.
Hmm.
So this must be a lighting thing because like there's
Yeah.
natural light coming into Aya's room versus like the stage lighting in May's room, which like
Is it blue and
fine,
black or gold and white?
right? Sure, but okay, but like to me, like I'm going to read into it because it's here. So like to me, it almost reads like the slippers look duller and more lifeless here with I in her room without May, and to me, it almost reminded me of like with obituaries, especially in Thai culture, I keep seeing obituaries. Usually the photos are black and white, not in color.
Mhm.
So to me, it's almost like she's holding on to like their dead relationship because like they're void of color. They look more colorful in May's
Fiora.
house. Like so it just made me sadder to like have her having this like lifeless husk of the relationship because like they're
Oh my god,
symbolic, you know?
Fiora.
Sorry, they're symbolic.
Yeah. It's just the way you're saying all this stuff. Okay.
It's true.
I mean, yeah, you're not
I
wrong
know. Anyway, I just had
with
to add
that.
that before we keep going.
Sounds great. Thanks for your positivity.
Hey.
Um, okay, so as Theora has pointed out, I is in her room staring at these lifeless slippers that mean everything to her and symbolize the seriousness of her relationship with May. And I brings the slippers close to her chest as if she is hugging them. And then she brings one of them back a little bit to stare at it. And she rubs her finger over the design. And I'm like, sure she's thinking about how May's finger ran over the exact same design at one point. Um, yeah. And then there is a knock at the door. And these slippers are supposed to be lost. So I hides them under her bed, but still visible if someone just bends down.
Yes.
I just want to point that out.
Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Meemaw enters as I pretends to act natural, like she wasn't just clutching the symbol of her secret relationship close to her. And Meemaw's clearly concerned about I, and they are in a silent stare off as Meemaw comes towards I just so much silence in the beginning.
I know.
And Meemaw breaks the silence by sincerely asking how I is doing. I is not as sincere as she breaks eye contact for a second before looking back at Meemaw, saying that she is all good. Probably the biggest lie she's told.
Yes.
And then gives Meemaw a fake smile, which Meemaw is definitely not buying. Meemaw says seriously, and I doubles down, saying she's good, and if she isn't, then Meemaw will be the first to know. Will she be? Will she be?
Who knows? You
Actually.
guys keep lying.
And Meemaw is the first to know because she doesn't believe any of the things I is trying to say.
Because she
But
knows I was a
Meemaw can't,
liar.
yeah. And she knows she can't force it out of I.
That too.
So she just sighs and sits next to her on the bed. And Meemaw then says to her, "You know, there's another way, don't you?
There's the truth that will set us all free.
Yeah. You don't have to do this."
You don't.
And Meemaw has had more life experience, and she knows this is just going to end up with everyone hurt,
Yes.
especially I.
So does anybody with a brain.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna get hurt. Like, that's what secrets do.
Kosol
That and
even
lies.
said that. He's like, everyone's gonna get hurt. You know that.
Yeah. There's no
Kosol,
way
that guy.
out. There is no escape.
No.
Anyway, I takes Meemaw's hand and tells her that she already made her choice, and this will save everyone's feelings. Spoiler alert, it won't.
It does not. Uma's already like, what is happening? It's already going poorly. Everyone's already hurt. It's been
Yep,
one day.
literally everyone.
Maybe everyone. It's been one day. Great job.
Meemaw questions about everyone and asks I if she is also included in that. Because Meemaw could clearly tell how in love I is with May and
Yes.
knows this has to be killing her right now. And I takes a moment because she knows she isn't included in this. And
No.
she basically just tells Meemaw that it's already done and it's the best solution. And Meemaw just stares at I.
She does. She side eyes her.
And I breaks eye contact with Meemaw to look forward. And you can see that she is trying to convince herself of this. And in the moment, it seems like she is succeeding. And I then side hugs Meemaw to try to prove her point that she is okay. But Meemaw is still not buying it. And when we cut back to both of them, I looks away to the side where Meemaw can't see, and she looks like she is faltering with these feelings because no, she's not okay.
Also, she's posturing because she doesn't even stick to this. She's like, no, I must remove myself from the equation. And then she doesn't. Like later she's gonna go and like give May gifts when she thinks May can't
Yeah,
see her. It's like, girl, she can't even stick to her own plan.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. But good thing about that that scene that I really like. Again, I think it's really sweet that Meemaw has gotten to a place where she like regularly checks in on I because I didn't know Meemaw was going to show up. So Meemaw must have been like, I need to go check on I to make sure she's okay. So I love that development in their relationship where Meemaw knows that I is not as self-reliant as she pretends to be and she needs emotional support, especially now. So I like that Meemaw gave her that support without I having to ask for it. You know what I mean? Where she's like, clearly
Hmm.
you need a hug. I know you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I like that she went and did that without, like, pointing it out kind of thing.
they're growing
Yeah, no, the growth
in
of their
some ways.
relationship is really, really, really good because they talked and communicated, and, If only other
Yeah,
characters
you
would
know.
do that, we would not be here. But anyway, this is the fun part of the series where all the shit hits. Once shows up, that's when everything gets amazing. And by amazing, I mean all the pain.
Terrible.
It's terrible. All right. So that concludes the recapping for episode 10. So let's wrap this up with Big Gay Energy Award.
Okay. Uh, I feel like the slipper scene is the only thing we get.
Yeah, I feel like that was the gayest thing. There's a lot of
My runner, like
good.
my first thought was Meemaw being there for I.
That was cute. She was there for a big gay that needed energy. Also,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. The slipper scene was cute, and then I'm gonna give it to at the doctor's office because like she was trying
Oh
so hard
yeah.
to be such a good
She did. She
girlfriend.
was trying to.
She
But,
came
like,
with
that
a
was
big gay
so much
energy.
deceiving, but that was not her
She
idea.
came with big gay energy to the scene, but May was not
Yeah.
in the scene with her is the problem.
Yeah.
So, go Oom. Okay, and Taylor Swift songs. What's Taylor Swift song represents this section of Pluto to you?
Okay. This was a hard one,
Yes.
but I think I'm going to choose "This Is Me Trying"
Ooh, that's a good one.
because I's way of trying to make up for her past actions is sending back in there as if she never existed.
Oh, damn.
It
Yeah.
wasn't a good move, but it was her trying.
Yeah,
And I do have some lyrics.
that's
So
good.
the part, "I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that." So I has been having a hard time adjusting to waking up, and she has had something great with May, but now it's rusting because it's overshadowed by the fact that I is still pretending to be and she doesn't know that May knows she isn't.
The Shadow of Oom.
Hmm. And then the song, the part of the song, "They told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all of my potential. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad, and I have a lot of regrets about that." And this is basically referring to the fact that I was so pissed after the trial and funeral that she was out for murder, basically. And now she's regretting that because she didn't realize there's an actual person on the other end of this.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm gonna go with the prophecy from the Tortured Poets department because to me it reads like I and May's point of view when they're both viewing I's sacrifice to give all their memories to or their relationship over to kind of thing. So basically, the
Hmm.
crux of the song is it's about like one person in the aftermath of a relationship that falls apart, just being like, why couldn't this have worked out, essentially? And like wishing that this wasn't doomed from the beginning, kind of thing, which their relationship was doomed from the beginning because it started in deception. So
Yes.
okay, so like all the lyrics work, but I'm just gonna read the beginning because you know. Anyway, so hands on the throttle, thought I caught lightning in a bottle, meaning like May is like, oh, I finally found my real but it's gone again, and it was written because this was doomed to end from the start. I got cursed like Eve got bitten, so reference to Adam and Eve. Oh, was it punishment? Question mark. Pat around when I got home. I guess a lesser woman would have lost hope. A greater woman wouldn't beg. But I looked to the sky and said, please, I've been on my knees. Change the prophecy. Don't want money, just someone who wants my company. Let it once be me. Who do I have to speak to? Okay, Karen. What if they can redo the prophecy? So it's kind
Sorry,
of
I'm still on the okay, Karen.
okay, Karen. Yeah, it's like, where's the manager of fate? Sorry, that just jumped in my head. Yeah, but so basically it's like they both like wanted this to work out despite it starting in deception. And now the truth has come to light where like the actual is back in the picture. And like yet neither like May and I at this point I haven't truly given up on their relationship really, even though it looks really gloomy. So like basically they're like, is there some way we can redo this and make this not be doomed? Tell the truth. But anyway, so this song I think encapsulates this part of the episode to me, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Prophecy is a great song for the
Love that
ending
song.
episodes.
Yeah. It's a good one.
I think I plan on bringing it up in the next episode, I think. Not our episode, episode Pluto.
All right. Okay.
All right. So if you made it this far in the episode, we want to know because this is very long. Um, so I'm going to give you this question to answer in the comments. Today's question is: if you were in I shoes, how would you have handled everything? Would you have told straight up, like, "Hey, I'm dating your ex," because you were going to break up with her anyway? Or would you have respected Meemaw's wishes or something different? So, like, basically in the handling of like, would you
Handling a
just
boom.
yeah, like, tell her all the things that she would have known that she should know? Like, this is a wild situation to be in, and I honestly don't know what would be the best way to handle it this far into their relationship, like I and May's relationship. And like, are there any psychologists out there? Like,
Diagnose these people.
okay, and then yes, I also want to do a quick plug. We are always looking for psychologists to give their input into different media. So
Yes.
definitely let us know if you are one and listening to this, because we got many things that we need to talk to you about if you're willing to solicit not advice, but like diagnose characters willingly, unpaid, or at least like give us insight into like what could be going on.
If you're willing to answer
Because
our questions, that's all.
diagnose would be psychiatrist, not psychologist. Anyway,
Okay.
if you're any mental health professional out there,
Let us know. Yes, and I'm curious to see what you guys would do if you were I, per Caitlin's challenge.
Mhm.
All right, so that concludes the first half of episode 10. We'll be back next time to conclude and wrap up this episode before we get into the penultimate, messiest episode ever, which is episode 11. So, prepare yourselves now if you thought this was long, because eventually we're going to get to episode 11, which is the Oom episode. So until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.